Gods connect, intellect, intersect. Brothers on the rise, no lies, just respect. Health, wealth, religion, truth, gotta inspect. Mindful exchange on deck, we perfect.
You are now tuned in to the Mindful Exchange podcast, episode
90.
Yay.
90.
Whoa.
Shit.
90.
10 away.
90.
10 away.
Yeah, we gotta have a
10 away from
celebration
100?
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah, we might have to do a specific location for the 100. Man.
Where we gonna be at?
I don't know. We might have to throw a little party for the 100.
I'm looking kind of dark in that shot too, man. I hate how y'all be doing me like that.
I mean,
Y'all be
the cameras,
Nah,
I'm
shit.
gonna keep it
Shadow.
a buck
Nah,
cap.
leave
You
it
look
there.
very light skinned.
Leave it there, bro.
You look
Leave it
normal.
there.
You're not bad, bro.
Black
look very
History
normal.
Month again.
cap to the ISO.
Yo,
Word
John
up.
was just telling me that Trump canceled Black History Month and then created an Irish History Month. Is that true? I told him I had to look into it, but I didn't have a
Stop the
chance
cap.
to look into it.
I know that they. I know that they
think so.
destroyed that. I know that they destroyed that Black Lives Matter monument in Washington D.C.
First of all,
Yeah, they was corrupt in the motherfucker.
Yeah, they was awesome.
I don't blame
I
them for that
got I got a question.
But
hold on. My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why they call you PJ, bro?
Damn. I'm gonna tell you off camera, you know? Nah, it was a nickname. My mom called me Pumpkin when I was a baby. My middle name is James.
Pumpkin.
Oh,
Pumpkin James.
and how long you known him?
Well, I didn't realize that was that.
Nobody knew.
Nobody.
I knew I almost said something, but I didn't want to intervene with you
I don't give
asking him a
fuck.
question.
I used to be
I
kind
knew
of
that.
like
Pumpkin
airtight
James.
with that shit back. Yeah, he knew that shit.
Uncle
But,
James.
but yeah.
Okay.
But now, fuck it. You know what I mean?
I wanted to
That's
ask
a-
you
that's
Now the
a-
whole
got it.
world know.
Yeah.
Nigga Pumpkin James up in this
everything
bitch.
that the BLM was cap about, right? And you know the nigga that you voted for. Everything is personal that is cap about him. It's you can verify it.
Wait, what are you saying, bro? What are you starting off now? What are you talking about?
Because you said everything too.
Me?
You said everything is
Repeat your question. Yeah.
generalized.
Repeat your question. You was talking about the Black Lives Matter stuff. Repeat your question so he can understand it.
I think this is you addressing something, and then you're trying to
He
throw
said he don't
some-
know what the question is, so I want him to repeat the question so then I can.
Wait,
go
did
from
I
there.
ask this question?
Yeah, you just said about the BLM shit.
No, I didn't.
What did he
John,
say?
And John was like, that was cap. All that shit was fake.
What did he
That
say?
was him.
Somebody said that.
What did he say?
The Irish month
Hold
shit,
up,
right?
No, he said
No,
something about
it
John.
came after that.
John, he
don't
said
know.
something about John said that Trump was going dead all the Black history shit.
And made an Irish
Somebody-
month, and then I
Yeah,
said
no, yeah,
stop
that
the
was
cap.
lies.
And I said stop the cap about that.
That was cap for sure, but then I could have swore you just said something.
If you could have swore he said something, you should.
You just say what did he said though?
You got to run that shit back.
They mics need to be cut down.
We were talking
just a
about the
little
BLM,
bit.
and John said all that shit was cap.
Yeah, that the
About
first
BL
box. Nope, the other one.
I
I
didn't say
wasn't
BLM
talking
was
about
cap. I
BLM.
said
They need
what
a little
the
more
Trump shit
attention
was
over
cap.
there, just because that
Okay.
box peaks a little bit
bad,
here and there.
Yo.
I had one question and I asked it.
What was
He
the
trying to
question?
force you to create a question that you
Oh,
didn't
my
have a
God.
question
PJ.
about.
This nigga ready
Yeah.
just
My
to
bad?
combat. That's what he doing.
Is mine a little? Oh, that's perfect. Probably.
Good shit.
So, nephew, you wanted to say something?
Oh yeah.
I thought we was gonna get into the.
Now we can skip that today, man. We can skip that today.
First and foremost, to everybody that's in the room, I wanted to send a sincere apology to everybody who watches the pod. Big apology. The way that I handled myself last Sunday, even if you didn't see it, because the way Cap edits was ridiculously unacceptable.
But I got the footage for sale. If anybody, the highest bidder, come.
It's not how I want to portray myself, and it's not who I am, and it's not who indicative who I am at this point in my life. Like, I'm not that guy. I was going through some shit. Didn't realize how much I was drinking. I got fucked up. You won't catch me lacking again. So to all you guys, because y'all shouldn't have to put up with that shit, first of all, besides the viewers. Like, first and foremost.
Well, we love you, so we put up with
Apologize,
your
man.
shit.
Won't happen again.
Appreciate
You won't
it.
catch me lacking again, man.
I got one more question. What does indicative mean? It's not the question anybody smarts. I personally don't know what indicative means.
Indicative is it's not who I am. It's not what I wish to portray. It's not my character. It's not. That's what indicative is.
So I got a question. So for the individuals that will never see or know what happened, how much do you feel like expounding on why you choose to apologize in the specifics of the circumstances?
You know me better than anybody. Besides, I'll give you the full joint.
I mean, give them what you want to give them.
Nah, I'm going through some shit. I got a text message from a woman that I'm married to, but is separated from, and it was something that I wasn't ready to read, and I thought I compartmentalized it pretty well, but the next thing I knew, I had a beer, then I had a beer, then I had a beer, and then I had some liquor and some whiskey, and then it was, you know what I mean?
Beer before liquor, never
you know what I
been
mean?
sick
So,
of-
Is that what
but
it is?
no, that's
That's
it's not.
what
No,
it
that's
is.
not what it is at all.
Yes, it
I
is.
thought it was
Liquor-
weed.
I'm a
before.
professional
Liquor
alcoholic. I
before
can do
beer.
all
Oh
that.
no, but I'm saying that's the
Fine.
same. That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
same, yeah.
Nah,
Bro,
it's
what-
just, yeah, it's
Hold
just.
on. Hold on. First of all,
That-
don't say
that
you can do all
professional.
that fine because nigga, you ate a weed cookie and
Bro.
we was in the middle of Chicago and he was standing up against the Sears Tower like this for
Looking crazy.
45 minutes, looking crazy. Talking about I can't go nowhere. So don't say you can do it all, motherfucker. Don't say that.
Looking like Kodak eating that chicken.
But that's basically what it was. I just wasn't ready for life, man, at that point, and it snuck up on me, and I got like annihilated. Like I haven't been blackout drunk in
You
probably
barely
9, 10
black,
years, bro.
motherfucker. I don't know.
Probably 10 years. So, yeah, it was crazy, man. But just anybody who's seen it, obviously everybody here's seen it. Like you fall asleep on a podcast, like. Personally, I'd have kicked myself off this motherfucker, to be honest.
Couldn't nobody pick you up. They had to call the fork truck. Man.
Hey,
Let's
High
be,
five,
let-
nigga.
let-
Fuck out of here, you bitch ass nigga.
let's be clear, Jetta. They mics
did
need
the
to be
beat?
adjusted. Like that, everything coming from that box needs this cracking a little bit. I don't know if anybody else can hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we got the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I had to take off 2 days from the gym after like helping you outside into the car and all that. But you know, it was worth it because it was a full body workout that I've never experienced before.
My back, my neck, and
bet,
my back.
nigga.
Now it
You've
takes a
never
man
been-
though for you to, you know, because I didn't know what you was gonna apologize for because we're unapologetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit was just very unprofessional and very unbecoming of somebody who's trying to like portray and better the image of niggas that look like us.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all been
It
lit
just
at
wasn't
the
a
get
good
together
look,
before.
bro.
Not
It
too
just
many
wasn't a
niggas
good
look
look,
like
man.
you.
That's all. And then of course John hit me like he let it slide for a couple of
Maybe
days and
there's
hit me and
some
was like, "Hey nigga, what is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I had no idea because I had blacked out.
Yeah.
But I knew what he was talking about. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, bro. He was like, bro, that's not a good look. And I hit him back. I was like, nigga, I know it's not a good look. Trust
I
me.
can
know.
say you aren't the drunkest we had on the pod though. I'm sure everybody.
I remember that.
Well, I don't know. It might have been
Hold on, we're not gonna
close.
talk about Italy,
what?
nigga. We're not talking
No,
about
no,
Italy.
no. We ain't even gonna mention this individual's name, but there was one individual that was drunk as a motherfucker on the pod.
Is my mic on?
Man, I was lit.
Yo,
I was
yeah.
lit the other week.
Nah,
I was
nah.
that lit.
Maybe
Nah.
we'll review it after we film this for like a minute, just so
Yeah.
because I ain't seen it since then. But
Oh, nah, this nigga, the one time the nigga taking pictures, he made the whole meme about this nigga.
Nah.
About me?
Yeah, you was passed out.
Oh, you did fall. You did fall
Remember
asleep.
he,
out?
remember he passed out and then he made a meme
Oh,
on
the
this
melted,
nigga?
the
I
melted
think-
joint. I put it in the group.
I didn't
chat.
pass out. That was just a ice cream thing.
Nah, you went to sleep,
'Cause
bro.
I
you
look
was,
mad
nah,
big.
you
Nah,
was
nah,
not,
nah,
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 you was
nah,
not-
you
nah,
fell
you was
asleep.
slumped.
You was slumped.
That
You fell
nigga was
asleep.
asleep.
hold
You
up.
That
probably
nigga
got
was
two of
asleep.
the top three.
Okay, so you can't apologize for a pattern then.
Yeah.
Something different has to happen if that's a
Yo.
pattern.
We about to have a pod intervention on this
Intervention,
nigga.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't need that, by the way.
Yeah.
Nah, but I'ma
all them
say-
niggas say that shit.
But-
No, I just needed to get ass kicking and John
Yo,
gave
is
it
that
to me,
video
so.
gonna be about that news video that was just playing?
So I got a few in there that are pretty dope, but the first one I'm gonna play is it's kind of nephew. We appreciate it and thank you
up.
for doing that. You know what I'm
We
saying?
do, bro.
Real shit.
Yes, sir.
So who's monitoring your sips tonight?
Me.
Me.
Okay,
I'm out of my own shit.
you did last time too, though.
Yeah, but I was fucked up. And the bitch, I said that bitch. My bad. I apologize. Somebody said something, and I went,
Yeah.
I gotta
He
drink.
apologized like he called me a bitch.
Yeah.
He didn't mean my face.
So before
just
we
wanna be
segue
disrespectful.
into this video, how about as men, we think of more positive ways that we can cope with the shit that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like any suggestions?
This for one.
Work out. Exercise, walk, work out. That's definitely something that helps. Run, work, walk out, work out. You know what I mean? Keep your mind.
Hit your people.
Write
bro.
down all the things. 20 things you're blessed to have.
My biggest advice is
blessings.
literally talk to who
never
you
thought
can
about
talk
that.
to. Because honestly, I don't really, because he just, the working out and all that stuff is like usually my whole thing. But having somebody to talk to that you can talk to is
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
probably,
hit niggas
that's
up,
probably
bro.
the best advice. 'Cause
Like, especially as black men, we gotta
even
understand
him,
that.
because he's a, y'all talk, but that probably is therapeutic. However y'all talk.
Just
My
like
uncle.
Just like John right there, he like you say you check yourself. Like it's hard sometimes to self-regulate. If you got good people around you that's looking out for your best interest, we not gonna tell you what to do, but we gonna check you and be like, yo, you getting out of character,
Out of
you getting out
pocket,
of,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For
But
you
see-
to regulate, and that's much needed in the community.
Facts,
you know
but
what I'm
what's crazy is there's not a lot of people who feel comfortable doing what he did, and then there's not a lot of people who are comfortable receiving the shit that he said that are gonna be able to handle it that time.
course.
You know what I mean?
That breaks down. That breaks down too to a relationship, honestly, because if you're a true friend, you'll be able to say whatever you want.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so a lot of times with a lot of people, they don't have
True
they don't have
friendship.
that true friendship, or they don't have an understanding of what a true friendship looks like. Because I'm gonna
used to
tell
guess,
them,
man.
I'm gonna tell them like, yo, that's some fuck shit that you did. You know what I'm saying? Yada yada yada. Whoop wop whoop. You know what I mean? But then I'm gonna be the first one to be like, my nigga, good job, bro.
Yes,
You know what I mean? That was some good shit.
Yep.
Congratulations. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna be the same. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times that's where the relationship goes wrong or the friendship goes wrong. You could say relationship because it is what it is. Man, woman,
Yeah, it's
friend,
not
friend.
friendship at this
Everything's
point.
You know what
Like,
I'm saying?
relationship.
most
So,
of the
you know-
niggas here is
It's a
pretty much
brotherhood.
brothers,
It's
you
a
know what I mean?
brotherhood.
Everything's a
Yeah, because I
relationship.
mean, if you know you fucked up, you know your niggas should be able to call you on that.
Yeah.
And just like
Facts.
you would want to call, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, when I was going through my shit, you know what I mean? The nigga Cap would call and talk greasy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Diddy.
you know what I mean? And it was cool though because
Yo, I almost hit you earlier and was like, yo, make sure you strap your leg on a little tighter because that wind gust out there is crazy.
Yo,
It was mad tree limb blown. But I was like, if I say that, then he probably gonna come to the pod
He gonna
later
come
and start.
strap or some shit, yeah.
I let that rock.
nah, but you know, but what I'm saying is like, you know, if we can't do that, like I said, when I was going through my shit, he would call me and be like, yo, you're going through your shit because of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? And he would break it down, wop, 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 and I would have to be like, yeah, you right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that just helped me face my own shit. Like, yeah,
As
all
you
right.
do with me, because there's been plenty of times when I was going through some shit and
But
nigga
that's
needed that
But that's exactly
that
what we're talking
real
about.
perspective that, like,
Yeah.
damn, I might not even want to hear it right now because
you
it's
got
not
to.
what I want to hear, but that shit gets you through some tough motherfucking days, bro.
I think it's funny that he
In the
said that
future,
because
too.
it's the same shit that like John does with me. It's not trying to hold back feelings or like sugarcoating anything. It's like, hey, listen, I know you're fucked up because this happened, but this is what you can control about it. So get your shit together and make the adjustments.
Yeah.
nigga.
Yeah, that's all you can do, man.
Accountability, right?
Fact.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You heard that, right? I'm just making sure mine's still good.
This nigga up here looking like Jigglypuff.
Twice. Threw me off. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what you be doing over there, Jetta.
He missed his son. Leave him alone, bro.
I was just switching the joints over here.
Well, you just do what you got
I
to do
think
over there.
it
Ain't none of them
look
niggas
like-
gonna sit there and do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Hey,
Word up.
hey, Cap.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll do it, and then I'll leave and shit.
Yeah.
What up with this video though?
Oh yeah.
Can we get to this video? Can we move through?
All right, so
Come on,
all right, so I don't know if any of y'all seen this video, right? But we have to pay close attention. This requires our attention to detail.
Basically, he's saying don't talk during this.
Right.
Well, not even that. We could talk during it because it's more
Like
of a
it's more
visual
tricky.
thing. This one is visual. You
Yeah.
got to look at it because I want your honest opinions on it. So I don't know if any of you
Let me
guys
lock
seen
in.
the track, the girl that runs track. She's a track athlete
Oh, hit her
Bopped
with the
this shit.
in
baton.
high school that hit the
bopped
girl
this
with the
shit with the
baton.
Just play the video. I ain't seen it.
I just
Ain't
want
that
y'all
tricky.
attention to
Throw it on-
detail.
Throw it on the floor,
All
Jetta,
right,
so
all
we
right.
can see it.
We could talk all through this motherfucker. She smacked the shit out of her.
You might even want to put it on its own screen just because.
Okay.
Jetta, you looking too? You gotta watch. You gotta watch.
It wasn't her first. She had cocoa butter.
Nah.
Oh shit!
That's her teammate. Look.
She cranked it. Oh, yeah.
Why she hit her with the shit?
Nah, that's not. That can't be her teammate. They both got
No.
the baton.
No, it's not. It's not a teammate.
They look like they're on the same team.
No, they're
Nah,
not.
but you
They're not.
can have two
They,
sets.
yeah, they
can
can
be
have the same
teammates.
color.
No, they weren't.
Nah, they not
I've
teammates.
seen the
They
story.
can-
They're
They can
not.
have the same color as another.
She
shot.
literally came up and started crying about, they only showed one angle, and if they show the other angle, they would say that I was just trying to run it. Like, nah, bitch, you.
Oh, so they
She
wasn't.
cocked that bitch back like.
Yeah.
She hit her.
She got mad, she got
I
caught.
used to run track, the 4x1,
Yeah.
the 4x1, the 4x2.
All
That
that.
was my shit.
It don't go like that.
She hit her on purpose, nigga.
Yo, where was her
You
teammate?
wanted to do that.
Yeah, I feel,
Huh?
I feel
Nah,
that.
hell no, nigga. Them shits hurt, nigga.
I
Them
know.
shits
Shit like
hurt.
a little. That's like a little
What-
metal, like
what-
a metal baton. Like a
Yeah,
bang.
son.
What leg of the race was it? Was it the final? The
That,
final?
it looks,
It
it
might
looks
have
like
been
it's
final.
the third leg going
Third or
into
final,
the
yeah.
fourth.
So
Like,
where was her
yo.
teammate to hand it off instead of booping
Nah,
it?
Nah, she had already.
That
She
was
getting
that was the
smoked.
last
Getting
leg.
smoked.
Yeah,
Oh,
nah,
that was
that's
the-
not the last.
I
the
thought
last
she
leg
had
is the
one
last-
more, too.
Oh, if it was a
That
200,
was
if it was a 200,
well, that was
I
the
thought
last
it was
leg.
a 4x.
if it was the
could've
4x2,
been.
that was the last leg.
Well, it looked like either way, it was that final turn into the straightaway. That's what it looked like.
Okay.
So either way, if it was, that's the last leg. 'Cause
Okay.
it's-
I mean,
'cause it's
it
the
doesn't
yeah,
final
it had to be
turn.
the 4x2.
It's the final turn into the
Okay.
straightaway. That's the last leg.
It
of
doesn't
any
matter.
race.
And the one thing I'm pissed about was she went on national TV and started
Right.
So we're
playing
gonna
the white
get
girl
we're gonna
victim.
look. We're gonna get
My
to
bad, go
that.
ahead.
No, because the thing is, I was gonna ask y'all like, so what would happen if you were in the stands and that was your child getting bopped upside the head?
For me, nothing.
Wait, nothing.
Nothing. It's part of sports, nigga.
No,
I
I'm
would have
not doing
screamed. I
nothing
would have
to
said
that.
something. It's
I'd have been like,
happened.
this bitch. But yeah, but
My-
nothing.
It
if
would
my
have been
daughter-
like,
if my daughter-
the fuck?
If my daughter,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm not running out
I'ma
there.
tell you-
Yeah,
I'ma
facts,
tell you like
bro,
this.
facts.
Let's get everybody's take on it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Jariah better get her motherfucking ass
And
up
beat her
And get-
ass.
and
Get her-
whoop
get
her
back.
ass.
Her
Get her
ass.
get
Right?
back.
Cause I'm be like, yo,
Promise
yo,
you, take
Yeah.
that baton
Jariah,
with you.
Jariah, you better get up and whoop her ass, and I dare a motherfucker to jump in on
Yeah,
it.
that's when I'm running down.
Then I'm running down.
Yeah,
on
then
it.
it's an
You know what I'm
asshole.
saying? Like Jariah,
Call your parents, bitch.
Jariah, get up and defend yourself.
Somebody
'cause it would
getting
be hard
snuffed down
because
there.
it would definitely be hard to not want it, but that is a child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect my child, who I raised, who I
To
know,
hold it down.
to be like, all right, yeah, you hurt, get up, fuck her
Because you
up.
see what the girl did after she got bopped. She just like held her head and fell, which is
What
probably
was
just a
this?
natural.
High school or college?
Yeah, high
High
school.
school.
Yeah, which is fine. Okay, so I fall, I get my shit right.
I
All
grab
that
the
bitch-
joint and I'm
that bitch
hitting-
hit
I'm
me
hitting
hard.
her with
Hold
that
on.
shit.
I ain't dizzy no more now. I'm running up on you. Better run up on that, because that's what I'm be yelling from the stairs.
Like-
Run up on that bitch.
Like, get that bitch.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, run up on it. I'll be like, yo. And then I dare a motherfucker to say something.
bang
but,
her. Bang
but
her
it's
out with
hard
that shit,
because
baby.
when we talking about the children,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I
Because
don't
like,
give a fuck.
if my child
fuck
did
that.
something, if my child did something because they felt some type of way to another
Prepare to
person,
fight.
you better be better. You better be ready to
Prepare
fight.
to fight.
I'm not gonna let nobody jump you.
Right.
But if it was my kid and my kid was wrong, and that kid ran up on my kid,
gotta
you got to
handle
defend yourself.
still
get
You
your
did
ass
yourself
whooped.
wrong.
Handle
But
shit.
ain't nobody gonna jump in.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
That's
Facts.
it. You know what I'm saying? And if you know we ain't even teammates, but we teammates. You know what I mean? Nigga, let us go to the store right now and y'all looking in 7-Eleven and a nigga is in there fighting me. What y'all gonna do?
Violent.
Wow, we getting out the car
Violent.
and wilding. You know what I'm saying? So where was the teammates? That's the real question.
Oh, that's
because
it.
they all on
They
the
all
Actually,
in the
yeah,
field.
they're
They all on the field.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
so
all in
not
the
everybody
field.
got this
You probably
view
didn't get to
because
see
if you're
that.
active on the field,
Yeah.
you're not
probably
going to be
didn't
able to
get to
see
see
it
that
until
shit,
after.
yeah.
And it
Even
is-
the
and
individuals
it is high
running
school.
with her.
So it is high school too.
Yeah.
That's I
They
have
don't
to
have
think
like
about
the
that.
jumbotrons all the time,
yeah.
and
Even the button, even if it was Ryan, nigga, I'm smack the shit out of you.
And when that shit haappened so fast, like it's
Fuck
probably
that
like
kid,
in a
nigga.
different, you know what I mean? The people in the
FTK.
crowd can't really see that, like she really, because you got that
She
shit
cocked back.
going, like, yeah, but of course, like when you watching that shit slow motion and all that shit, or watching that,
yeah.
you know what I'm
that
saying?
angle.
When they're zooming in on that shit,
Some
you
people
can
probably
see it.
actually missed it because it was so
She
close.
tried to make it look
My
like
daughter-
a natural motion as possible.
She wasn't
Yeah.
doing it before, but
Bitch, you're not gonna
after
win.
she did, then
Yeah.
she swung her arms after.
Yeah.
My daughter
A
would have
couple
got her in that
times.
interview.
Real
Because
shit.
you started to break it down and talk about it, she would
Yeah.
have caught some shit all across her head.
Snuffed right
She
in
would have
there.
been bad.
WETM, this
all
is
that.
pow, 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 pow.
Yeah,
Wes,
that
what
bitch
you
did
think?
that shit.
It been over.
I mean, it was some sore loser shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Real.
saying? Like,
Why she hit the one in second though?
yeah.
She was trying to
That's
get
the only one she could catch.
But
nigga.
here's the thing,
That
though.
was, she was passing her, nigga. That's why.
Nah, but here's the thing, yo.
She was in arm's
When
reach.
they like people have rivalries in sports, so we don't know what school that was and what type of previous track beef
They could even
may have
be-
had.
I never
They can
thought
have
about
personal. They can have personal
Yes.
beef.
Yeah.
They can be like, "Oh, bitch."
Yeah,
Like,
that
you know
could've
what I'm
been
saying?
something-
I'm out the.
Yeah,
You know what I
like
mean?
prior to
That's
it,
why
it
you're the
could've
GOAT,
been-
bro. I never even
Because
thought about that.
if they're rivals, you got to think. So with track, right? You know they got the last leg. You know what I mean? So that's normally the best runner of the. You know what I mean?
Shout out James Bailey.
This nigga crazy.
I'm on my last
Sorry.
leg.
My
You know what I
bad.
mean?
I
I'm still
apologize.
kicking it though.
Couldn't even hold
But-
that shit in.
And track is a form. Yo, Jetta, correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of track niggas would pop shit back and forth.
what?
Like
Oh,
that
for
shit
sure.
was.
Yeah, I ran track.
Hell
I
yeah.
ran track.
Yeah.
I did the hurdles and the
Yeah.
4x4. It was very competitive.
Yeah, that's from what I hear. I never ran track, but
very
I mean, I
competitive.
heard
She
about
probably
this
was
shit.
like,
track, but ain't
she
nobody
probably
pop
was like,
shit on
wait
me. I ain't gonna lie.
until I get to the time. She
That
probably
bitch ain't
said something.
fast.
She probably
That bitch
like,
ain't fast.
Bitch, I'm out. Are you out, bitch?
Well, let me ask
smoke.
you a question.
Lights out.
What mental state do you have to be in to be willing to crash out like that at a high school meet?
An emotional
Cap,
state, a
no, you
female
don't.
emotional state.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Cap. All you need is a competitive state.
Females do
Nah,
that.
because
People, no, listen, hold on.
You
Not
say
everybody's the
competitive.
same. People hate to lose.
Yo,
If you're losing, you you don't have to be a crazy
Yeah, but
person.
what mental
gotta-
state do you have to be
Competitive.
I got a good.
Nah, because when you say competitive, it's
got
like
mad competitors.
there's a lot.
Yeah,
every
that's-
day people compete and people don't resort
And-
to
and-
that. They don't lower
Every day they
themselves to
do
that.
too, though.
When
Matter of fact, we competed with a leg press, right?
Yeah.
There was not one single moment in time where I was like,
I'm about to crack this nigga over
Nah.
here. with a
This
5
nigga
pound
when he
weight.
lifted
I'm
this.
about to
yo,
cut this nigga knee out.
I'm
Basically, put that weight up.
Right in his stomach.
gonna put an
That
extra
shit is different.
200 on just the right
That
side.
shit happens all the
kick his
time,
knee.
bro. It's just a competitive. Like, think about it, bro. Like,
So you think that's normal? Sounds
yes.
like you're normalizing that based on competition.
Hold on. Okay, normal, 20%. Acceptable, 0%. What I would say is, think about everybody that competes, like just throughout the hood. How many rap battles turn into a fist fight? How many dance battles turn into a fist fight? Like
You can't
it's-
really compare those
why not?
examples because what I'm saying is the question was the mental state of somebody being in a high school competition
I got a
in
personal
front of a whole
example.
crowd, knowing that you've been through this dozens, if not hundreds of times before. So at that moment, what was the mental state of the young lady if she actually did it on purpose?
I would say, why
I
couldn't
think
that
we
mental
have to-
state be the same as that person, though? Like, you're acting like those two mental states have to be different. They don't. If you're the best dancer in the hood and somebody challenges you, all you're going to be is the
go to
best
Mike.
dancer in the hood.
So you saying it's
go to
normal
Mike.
for competition to result in
Yes.
violence?
Yes.
Let go to Mike.
I don't.
much
I don't
so.
think he's saying it's normal, but I think he's saying
It's
what
not
happens
acceptable,
is,
but it is normal.
it happens more often than we
Then
like
you
to
would like
think
to,
about.
exactly.
And you
It's not
think there's
normal.
nothing else attached to
I
that
got a-
moment? Or
Nah, I think she was a
personal
sore
experience.
loser.
so if things happen like that frequently with certain individuals, you think it's just their competitive nature and there's nothing else attached to them?
Yes. That doesn't make it right, though.
I got a personal experience. I was in a
I
football
mean, you can watch
game,
the
right?
My bad, go ahead.
I was on a football game. I was in a football game and we was in like a punt return. Well, we was punting. I'm going off, but this kid grabbed my face mask and just like ran with me, right? I just punched him. The ref threw the flag right at me. So I'm like, and my mind was like, I had my face mask pulled before mad times, and it's like, that shit just like broke the camel's back. I don't know. I don't think it's a mental state. I think it's how many times did this girl beat her?
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
times did she have to go through
Yeah.
losing to her, even if she came in
That's
third? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So it's not like the first time they competed, or even like Hoodie said earlier, there could have been some form of rivalry before.
Yeah.
There was something that pushed her over the edge because she doesn't do it every track meet she loses.
She was probably popping her shit and winning every time. And
She
she's
could have had a
at
bad.
the Nationals right now.
That probably
Like,
She could have had a bad day at home, man.
That
Her
probably
mom
could have been
coulda-
like to go to states or something.
It
or
was.
Exactly, exactly.
So, it was.
Was it?
What?
Yes,
so
it
to
was.
go to states, so it's like you in the semifinal game to go to the championship, and this same motherfucker keep beating you. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
I want to say, Deb, first of all, why the fuck were you on the punt team?
Yeah, who knows what?
What you say?
Shit, she-
This nigga
Hold
Deb
up,
on the
nigga.
punt team. What you doing on the
I
punt
used,
team?
I used to
nigga?
punt.
I
Nigga,
started
special
on
teams,
all
bro.
that. Don't do that. I
Nigga,
was,
Deb was on the punt team.
I was
nigga.
needed, brother. Special teams, special players, special plays. I was a part of all of that.
I was on
the
special
Pat
teams.
McAfee
I rode the
effect.
bus in the front.
So
with
what
the
would you say
helmet.
to your kids if they resorted to that?
I'll beat the shit out my kid.
Yo, what?
What?
If my kid hits somebody with a baton and during a race, I will beat the fuck
I'm
out of my
not
kid.
beating my
I
daughter
can't
for
beat
that.
my
You
daughter,
tripping,
man.
I
bro.
definitely cussed their
I'm not
ass
tripping
out,
for
but
nothing.
I'm
Y'all
not-
niggas is tripping.
Poor
Beating?
sportsmanship and all
Fuck
that.
outta here with
I'm
that
not whooping
bullshit.
your
I mean,
ass,
I've been
though.
able to check my daughter without putting hands on her. That's my
A
point. You know what I
teenager in
mean?
high school? That's
That's
crazy.
a criminal act, bro. You hit somebody during a sporting event for no
Man.
reason besides
would-
that you're losing.
I would
You
have
getting your
to
ass
check
whooped.
that emotional shit, but
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, because like Hoodie was saying, you gotta be. If you do it on offense, you gotta be prepared to fight as well. And I'm teaching my kids how to fight.
Yeah.
So, but you might do that and win the fight, but you still gotta deal with like, you know, that was wrong.
This is
Wrong
just
is wrong.
speculation.
I mean, either way.
Hold on, this is speculation, but I think the fact that she did that would probably lead to the fact that she hasn't had enough ass whoopings in her life. Speculation, as P likes to
She's
say.
she's
I'm just
Enough
saying.
discipline.
17 now.
I
though.
think in 2025, based on CPS cases and
Oh, gotcha.
trying to change the
The narrative.
she hasn't had enough discipline.
Yeah, there you go. Nah, but I mean, I think, you know, like I said, you know, what's that? They always talk about the new shit. Fuck around. The more you
Find
fuck
out.
around,
Find
the
out.
more you find out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By
And
five.
I believe that.
You know what they used to
wholeheartedly.
say though? Don't start none,
Won't be none. Word up. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so maybe that's not, maybe like he said, they had a personal beef. Shit was what it was, whatever. But to me, overall, that shit was personal. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you. Can say
I
it
can't
was
even count the
competitive.
amount of games competitively I've competed in. Never once has anything like that ever crossed my mind. I'm talking about
Ever.
track, basketball, 4 years in a row. You know what I mean?
We had a
And-
riot breakout on a football field in Elmira High School going against Aquinas in like 2015.
Going against who?
Aquinas on Rochester.
Oh,
There was a riot in the
Surprised
middle of the
ain't shit,
field.
that's what I was thinking. When I said, oh, I was like, damn, they ain't smoked nothing, huh?
Yeah, I left.
But that boils down to just personal.
Yeah.
I don't.
You
Like,
know,
who,
at
but,
track
but
there's
who
mad
knows? Like,
teams.
that's like almost like just a random
Dozens.
dart in the air, like hoping it lands. Like, who knows if it was personal or not? It could have been.
No,
been
man,
sore
she
loser.
smacked her with. It's not she didn't throw something
who
and
know-
it landed.
but-
She literally cocked back and hit her with it.
But who knows? What if there was somebody else that passed her just in that moment of time? Was she to hit that girl? Was she hit the other girl?
doesn't matter. That's speculation.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's kind of
So
where I was at too.
like, who
When
knows?
I first
Like, we just
analyzed this
guessing.
video, I actually ran track, right? And I was like, well, when you're moving, what people that have never run track don't calculate is the fact that you have momentum when you're running so fast. So when you get tired, the way your body moves is different. Like first you're tighter when you're running. When you get tired, you get looser and your limbs get more wide, right? So I was like, damn, maybe she could have been coming to the end of her endurance and her arms were just wider because it was harder to keep her body
Man,
tight.
hell nah.
But
She
then-
hit that girl.
Yeah, but listen, this is me trying to be unbiased because I'm not going into it looking at the video
Cap.
even and saying like, look, she did it for whatever reason. It was me trying to be like trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But then after that, I looked at the video again and I said, nah, that bitch did that shit on purpose.
I think she did it on purpose too. I'm just saying,
her up.
like, it don't have to be that it's personal. Maybe she just wanted to win, and this
Yeah.
bitch just passed her.
Her emotions
She
got
like
the best of her.
Sore.
And
Fuck
You know what I'm
you
saying? Like,
how
fuck,
Definitely
you
I'm
be
trying
tight?
to lose.
You know how you say you be tight?
Yeah.
She held it up here tight.
Like a motherfucker.
She held it
son.
tight. Came right when you wanted. Bam!
Bomb, because she was accurate.
Yeah, she
Cleaned
swung
her
that bitch
up.
down like Thor, nigga.
Cleaned her
I
up.
think
So-
You want to watch
I-
it again? You
I
want to watch
think-
it again?
Yeah, watch
I
it.
think
again.
if
Put that shit on
the
again,
white
bro.
bitch
One
passed
more
her at the
time, one
same
more time, one more
time,
time.
Let him finish.
I think if the white bitch passed her
She
at
was
the
black.
same time, I'm
White
saying if the
lady.
white bitch,
Yeah.
the white girl
Damn,
passed her
that's
at the same time, she probably would have did the same thing. If she switched places, I don't think it was
Probably
personal.
might have
Probably
shot
been a
her.
whole
Oh, I
other
see what you're saying.
conversation.
I see what
Whoever
you're
was
saying.
next to her at that
She
time,
didn't want to
Racial.
lose to
she
whoever.
was bang, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you.
He
Right?
said-
might have shot
he
her.
said, you race her and beat her. See, she do that shit to you.
Yo, play that video.
So
one more
before
time.
we play that again, though, I kind of wanted y'all to see the response that the girl had, at least a couple seconds.
interview,
Watch
right?
it. That shit was
Yeah,
so
the
fake and
interview,
phony.
like-
Yeah, let's
I
see.
can't
do wanna
even
see
stand
it.
to watch
Hold on.
that shit, man.
So,
Do you
all
want to
right.
see it real quick before
Yes,
I?
I just want to know who the response was, the victim or the
girl that
attacker?
hit.
It was
The
the
girl that
villain.
hit.
The
The
attacker.
villain.
It's,
Girl that hit,
it's
yeah.
the attacker. Yeah.
The attacker.
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan, nigga.
All right, there we go. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But
Nancy
Nancy
Kerrigan.
classic icon in the.
Do that
Put
one.
it in.
Do that one
Put
screen.
it on the full screen though, so we could
Look, see how that bitch up there. Tight.
Look, she passing her. She's
Look,
passing.
see how she cocked that
Yeah,
back,
she cocked that
nigga.
bitch back.
It's all about her getting passed. That's what it's about. Look, she's passing her right
hold
now.
She tried to fake the carry too. Watch the
Bam!
arm.
She cocked
Bing.
that back, son.
And looked at her.
Look how
It's
she
not
took
even
the arm out.
close to a natural
Oh yeah,
movement.
yeah. She like after that, she
Hold on,
kept.
Hell no.
It did roll up her back. What I seen from that angle.
It did.
Did it?
Angle did roll up her back.
Let me pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Look,
I didn't
It
see
did
that.
roll
Let me
up
see.
her
He
back.
said it did roll up her back. I didn't see
It
it.
did
Back
catch her. It
ankle.
did
I'm
catch
gonna play it
her.
again.
It
Here we go.
rolled- it
Just
was
that
rolled-
part.
Yeah. Right. Hold on. Not the other angle. Right.
Look,
right,
look,
right.
look. It did. Yup. It rolled. Yeah.
I don't know, it did, but you ain't got.
Yeah,
That much
but
balance?
after the fact, it came up.
About-
She did a cock
back.
back motion.
So that's where I said momentum
Yeah.
comes in.
You're not
Not to
losing
say
that
that's
much
an
balance,
excuse,
though.
but if
Yeah, look. It rolled up.
I gotta blame the parents somewhat too, because that response was weak.
Yeah, it is. It's like she a victim and shit.
That's a cock back.
That's
She
a
cocked
cock
that shit. She back.
The other family spoke with the news station in Roanoke asking for an apology from the lady.
Nah,
That's a
hell
cock
no.
back.
To give,
Shit.
That if it wasn't a cock back and you was off balance, you definitely meant to pop her shit.
Think about it. She didn't stop at all and say,
kinda
"Are you
did.
okay?"
She kinda slowed
She
a
didn't.
little.
No, I'm saying she didn't stop and say, "Are you okay?" You were aware you did that,
Yeah.
but you didn't stop.
This is a one-on-one situation.
Yeah, put them in
Yeah,
the
my
ring
daughter-
together.
I'm
and let
not-
them
first-
figure that out.
I'm not getting on my first. Number one, my daughter ain't doing no interview.
Nah.
We not gonna do
Yeah,
that at all.
Yeah. Fuck
Number
that.
one, my daughter's not doing no interview.
Unless we getting
I'm
paid.
not getting on TV.
We getting paid.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Whatever happened.
Word.
Interpret what you want to
culture and
interpret.
shit.
Baby girl, you did it. We live in a society where everything is recorded. This is a part of the natural
Repercussions
of your actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't do it genuinely, you would have stopped and been like, damn, girl, you okay? You know what I mean? But the fact that you was like, all right, yeah, that bitch down, and jumped over and
Yeah,
kept going.
kept it moving.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means, to me, maybe with not full intent, but in the action of trying to move over, well, shit, if I hit her, I hit her. You know what I'm saying? But it does look intentional to me. But that's where I think it would you're not doing no interview, because that's just going to make, this just made it worse.
And think about it as
Yeah,
the
that's
parents
wild.
of this young lady. Like, I've had to have difficult conversations with my kids about times when they were wrong, right? That is one of the hardest conversations you will ever have with your kids if you love them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, I wish you didn't do this.
But
It's deeper than me just being upset at the actions that you did. Now it's in somebody else's hands, but you have to learn from this situation. And I feel like the way her parents were presenting, they weren't trying to acknowledge that at all. The first thing they should have said is, look, regardless if it
apologize.
was intentional or not, my daughter should have apologized in the immediate moment because she did know she was hit. That's the only way their daughter's gonna know. Like, in the future, if an accident happens, you don't just keep it moving. You stop and you attend to the individual that was hurt, or else you're teaching her that it's okay to keep going.
so I guess my question is too. On one hand, I understand Shorty trying to finish the race.
Yeah.
So did she? So if I wish we had extended footage, because it would make a difference to me personally.
Yeah.
If she tried to finish and then she came running back to see if old girl was okay.
You played ball in high school, so it's like if you accidentally fouled somebody, I'm gonna assume your coach would have respected and held you high up if you helped that person get up.
Definitely.
So that was in the moment. It's like something happened,
But
somebody got hurt.
Oh, he closed the door. But the difference is, in basketball, if I fouled somebody, play would have stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you hit
it's like
somebody
if-
with a
so it's like
baton, though.
so it's like in football. So it was like in football. Like, I remember one time in football, I did a crackback block and I hit a kid, and I didn't realize that the way I hit him and he he broke his leg. So I hit him and kept it going. You know what I'm saying? But then after the play was done,
I would say football and track and even basketball, they're two totally different worlds because like when you're playing basketball, it's almost always a one-on-one situation, if not one-on-two, right? So if you hit somebody with an elbow or something and they fall, you immediately know that happened. What I'm saying is like the coaches I was always trained under made sure that if you did that, you were the man, you were the bigger man on the court. You stopped. You clapped for whoever was able to make it off the court after you did that, and you were held accountable immediately. If you didn't address that immediately, your ass was coming off the court. But football is a more high-impact sport where there's more action going on, so you might not see what you actually did to somebody.
So that's why I was just saying, I was just correlating what I said about what football, hitting somebody and not realizing that you hurt them, because if you did it and you physically seen that you got hurt, your initial reaction would be
you ain't
to
see
help
where
them.
she bopped her, and when she was running, she actually slowed down, looked
But
back
what
a
I'm saying
little
is
bit,
it kept
and then
booking.
kept
But that's what I
booking
said.
a little bit.
But that's what I said.
She's like,
But that's what I said with the extended footage.
Yeah.
It would make a difference to
Yeah.
me that if she finished the race,
Yeah.
but then she ran back after finishing to check on the girl.
they said she never apologized.
I agree with Cap. You could tell, like, I mean, if you have something, an accident like that, and happen in real time, and you feel yourself hit somebody, and then you look back and you see that she's holding her head, like, you know what's up, like. There's no accountability, like and she almost was playing the victim, like she's trying to be victimized.
Yeah.
Like,
Immediately.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I said the interview was
Even if she
amazing.
didn't do it on purpose,
How'd she think of that shit so quick?
She's the victim. You know what I'm saying?
How'd she
Rather
think of
than-
the mental shit so quick?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Even if she
Probably
did
her
it,
PR team?
Probably her
That's the
parents.
go-to, bro.
Her parents.
yeah, you got
My
to live
mental,
it.
my
Ow.
mental state at the time.
So
Her mom was like, I looked at the video this many times, and I know she didn't do it. Matter of fact, she ran into her.
Damn.
Her head ran into the baton.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep it a buck as a competitor. If it wasn't on purpose, I wouldn't have stopped. I'm going to get that
wasn't.
medal. I'm going to get that win. I'm going to get whatever.
It's
Yeah, but
mostly
if the
because that's an
action took
individual
place
sport.
and you acknowledge that it took place, you don't feel like you should have stopped.
No.
That's why I was saying, like, the coach I was trained under made sure that we were the bigger men on the court, because even if it was an accident, you don't continue the game. You make sure the individual you hurt
It's okay.
is okay.
And it was for
But-
second because she was in second place. Who she
Yeah.
bopped.
Yeah,
That
but
shit
this
is crazy.
you didn't let me finish. This is what I would do. I'd go get my second, and I put my second on her. If I stop and help her, we both lose. Somebody
I
else
might
is coming.
snuff you.
They gonna get second. I have nothing to give to you. except
Sometimes
for,
the
sorry.
moral high ground includes losing. You know what I mean?
I would give my shit to her. Like I
Nah,
lost.
don't give me
I know
no
I hit
silver
her.
shit.
listen, the
Bye.
bottom line is
Same thing when a pitcher hits a batter in Little League baseball. I've been hit many a time. If you don't go shake the kid's hand, your coach gets mad.
Man, what's that gonna mean?
Baseball.
What's that gonna mean when you just get disqualified anyway? Because they see that you did some foul shit. Like you trying to finish a race
Yeah, that's
and trying to
different.
get in first place, and they be like, "Man, but you just
Yo,
gave
That is
somebody a
different.
concussion."
That is very different. Yeah.
That's
we're
true.
missing
She did
we're
get a
missing the
concussion
whole
from
point
that.
of all of it if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because who do you expect to hear from
As in what?
in this whole situation?
The victim.
We didn't hear nothing from the victim.
why I said she's
nothing
playing the
from
victim.
the victim's parents. No, nothing. You know what? It happened. There's nothing that I can say or do that's gonna change what happened. Anything I add to it is just giving you more fuel to the fire.
Right.
So you know what? Old girl didn't apologize.
Yeah.
Cool. Baby, next time you see that girl, you see her at the convenience store, you better hop out and whoop that bitch ass. And then give me the chicken that well, what's his name?
Yo.
I'm gonna run up on that girl at the convenience.
Yo.
Oh, the crunchy.
The
crunchy
yeah,
chicken?
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's like I said, all the added internet stuff is why we're talking about it. Is why it's such a big deal, because yeah, they played it, but if nobody would have played more into it, it would have been what it was, and then they would have left it alone.
Nah, and
That's
her
why
ass
They
went-
wouldn't. I don't
she-
think they would have left that one alone,
she-
man. Because
she-
it was crazy, man.
And she went on the internet. I mean, she went on the news and is crying on the news.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the part that made it worse.
and
is
she
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
apologizing. Yes, I see what
That's
you're
what I
saying.
said.
Because that shit made it even
That's
like.
that's what I said. If she would have just been quiet, just like the
Yeah, that shit
victim
would've
has
went
been
away.
quiet, that shit would have went away a lot faster.
Yeah.
The fact that however many days later or whatever time frame lapsed between when it happened and when the girl and the parents went online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
You know what I mean? We live in a
justify
society where shit happens every day.
Every day,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And we'll talk about it that day, maybe the next day, but then something else is gonna happen. And if there's no added response to it, I'm not saying people would have forgot about it, but
it's gonna disappear.
But it's gonna
Been
disappear
handled
pretty fast.
personally.
So speaking of something else happening, I got another very good video for y'all. I'm not even giving y'all the lead in on this one because I don't know if anybody's seen this one, but it's very
I'd be nervous. Make sure.
yeah,
you're,
you should be. I'll be trying to find shit to throw y'all for a loop, man. All right, so Jetta, play this one on the big screen, right?
Police say he started a fire and are desperate to
go.
break free. With Johnson here with the story.
It's
Good
a
morning, Wayne.
2-minute
George, good morning.
video,
This is
so-
a disturbing story here. Police called it a life of captivity and starvation and abuse. The man told authorities he intentionally started the fire at his home and even collapsed to the ground and wouldn't get up because he wanted the fire department to save him, believing that was his only way out.
This morning, harrowing new details of a 32-year-old man now free after allegedly being held captive for decades. His stepmother taken into custody.
This is the worst treatment of humanity that I've ever witnessed.
Last month, authorities in Waterbury, Connecticut, responding to reports of an active fire at 56-year-old Kimberly Sullivan's home, making an alarming discovery.
Here's an adult that was 5'9" and 68 pounds.
According to new court documents, officers came into contact with a man who was extremely emaciated. He told officers he intentionally started the fire in his room on the second floor using a lighter, hand sanitizer, and paper because he wanted his freedom.
There's some physical evidence that was seized from the house that does corroborate the fact that that room did have exterior locks on it.
Sullivan appearing in court Thursday, now out on bail, facing multiple charges, including unlawful restraint, reckless endangerment, assault, and kidnapping. The accuser recounting details of his alleged captivity to authorities, saying he had not bathed in over a year. He was let outside for mere minutes a day, and his diet reduced to 2 sandwiches a day. When asked if he was hungry every day, he stated, "All day, every day, my entire life."
That is an awfully long time for no one to have information about what happened to this young man and why he was out of sight and ultimately became out of mind.
And Sullivan's attorney says she denies all allegations and suggested it was the biological father who dictated how his son was raised. He died last year. According to court documents, the Department of Children and Families did visit the home on a couple of occasions, but those visits stopped years ago after the boy was pulled out of school, guys.
So I paused it there. So
Sounds
what they
unbelievable.
ended on
Yeah,
was that it was decades that this dude lived in this circumstance, right? And what the stepmother said was that it was his biological father that created this environment for him, and he died last year.
Who died? Was it the,
The
father or
biological
the kid?
The biological
They said
father.
he stopped visiting for years.
No, that was CPS that stopped visiting.
That's
So,
what I was trying
I
to
mean-
text. You said he died, and I was like, hold on.
He
So
died
when
a
The
year
father
ago.
or the son? Which one died?
When you look at it, think about it like this. This is like the
Are
slave.
you sure it's CPS? Because
I'm
if
positive.
if the CPS was there, they would see the conditions that he
They
was
said
living
CPS hasn't been there in years.
I thought
The
they said
father
the dad.
died 1 year
After
prior.
they pulled him out of school, CPS pretty much stopped.
That's
So
what that
it's
pulled
just
out
like
of
the
school
slave
was.
mentality. When you think about it, if you think about how back in the day there was a plantation with 8 white people but 55 slaves, you know, because they were conditioned to live in those circumstances, like the mom and the
slaves?
son, the slaves. So we all say, nigga, we would have jumped the master because that's how we're conditioned to think. But back then they weren't conditioned to think like that.
Yeah.
So to what Cap was saying, if that's how the father lived, and when he met the lady, he forced her to live that way out of fear, she converted to how that they wanted to live. So that became regular. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's regular for how you are, it's just like the slave mentality of there's 50 of us Nigga, I make the meals for the master. If we wanted to get away, let's poison them niggas, and they gonna die in they sleep.
Well, this is just one individual though. Like, so
no, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's
I'm
more.
saying the concept.
Yeah, it's
of
more.
it.
I think it's more
And
Stockholm
it's
than that mentality.
It's Stockholm.
Like, Stockholm.
And it's definitely Stockholm, but the mother gets no type of sympathy.
Yeah.
Because she allowed that shit to continue, so she's just as bad as the father. You know,
2 sandwiches a day.
That's out of pocket.
She going to the store. She going smoking her motherfucking,
let them
Marlboros,
outside for minutes,
like
out
walking
of the
a
day,
nigga like a dog or something on the leash.
She's involved in that letting them outside shit.
She let them out.
Yeah, she probably walked that nigga like on a leash. Like, here, nigga, go out back and piss. Take a shit in the backyard, nigga. That shit crazy, man. Yeah, she gets no sympathy from me.
I mean, you know, the world we live in is a crazy place.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, you know what I mean, with examples like this, how unregular life really is, because we don't really know, you know. Did y'all see that video where I posted a couple years ago? Remember when the people found a baby in the woods and they took care of it? Did you see that video I posted in there? Yeah, a couple weeks ago I posted a video. It happened right here in Elmira.
What?
Oh yeah, in the trash bag.
And it was.
It happened like 5-6 years ago, but it just got brought back up.
They found a baby in a trash bag. Some little girl from Waverly came up.
Oh, I do remember the girl that got charged eventually.
From Sayre, Waverly, Sayre's like Elmira, Horsehead, same shit.
That's not the video we played the other day.
No, that was with the black. That was the black lady with the that was stunting on social media and had the kids living in the shit conditions for years.
Nah, but I thought we played one where the girl put her. It was in a trash bag in the back of somebody's yard.
Oh, I didn't see.
I could have swore we played that video the other week.
I don't remember.
Nah, I don't think we played it, but I sent it in the group chat though. I think we might have talked about it.
Okay, all right, because that's the one. That's what I'm remembering, not the whole wood shit, but the person put the baby.
It wasn't really woods.
It was like in the
she
back
left
of
him
their
in the
house.
back of the yard,
So
like
that's the one
under the bushes.
That's the one we was talking about then, I think.
Damn, I missed that.
The white girl that it was about the white girl did it.
Yeah, from Sayre.
Yeah. She came to Elmira. Her parents like kicked her out or some shit. Yeah. Okay.
Who put that DAP video in the
that was me. Yeah.
Which one was that? The Mindful Exchange on Facebook? I'm trying to find it.
I think you put it in the group chat, the text chat.
The text it?
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch it, but it looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that's where DAP came from.
I'm not surprised though.
How long is the video? Is it long or is it short?
About
or?
a minute and some change, maybe.
So y'all want to break down what it is before we?
So it's,
I didn't get to watch
basically like the origin of how we dap each other up. The difference, instead of just the handshake.
Oh,
but
okay.
why do we have the dap in what we do? You know what I'm
Embracing
saying?
type shit.
Yeah.
So I'm I don't know what y'all think about that last video though. Like, what are your opinions on that before we move forward?
I hope she burns in hell.
Me too, man.
Samuel Jackson voice.
Yeah, we got to put a button on the sound box that said, we should record that nigga saying it. I hope she burn.
Word up.
Yo. So how was the DAP created?
The DAP was it's actually an acronym as well.
Yeah.
DAP. I'm
What
not
does it
sure
stand
off
for?
top.
Was it divine and shit.
I know.
I got a question.
They say
hold on.
it in
I gotta. How do we even know that's what that was?
So
You know what
the
I mean?
girl was on like she was
what?
on The View or something like that.
The
but
DAP
she,
one?
Yeah. So
Like how do you know? Like somebody could say I ain't been to the DAP.
We gotta
No,
watch
not-
it.
she's
How
not-
do you
That's
know?
not what she's saying.
This
She's
is
not
not what
saying
she's
she
saying,
invented
bro.
it. She went and did research on how and why it was a thing and where it came from. So she did her research.
We'll play the video and then we can ask questions.
Yeah.
Nowadays, dapping up is natural, but do you know where it truly came from? Most things that folks think are just some cool black things came out of innovation, and they came out of having to figure something out when they couldn't do something just because they wanted to freely. The DAP is no exception. Now, the DAP originated in the 60s among black soldiers in the Vietnam War. Wow. Yes, it did. The Black Power movement was growing. There was racial unrest in cities. Young African Americans were being sent into combat, and the DAP was about unity and survival. There were cases of black soldiers reportedly being shot by white soldiers during combat. And so it was a physical act of solidarity, like, hey, bro, I see you, you see me, watch my back out there. Right. It was used to convey their commitment to looking after one another. Wow. And it's an acronym for dignity and pride. Wow. So the DAP was even banned in the military because folks thought it was a code for doing a black power sign. Wow. So in present day, when we see folks dapping up, we have to remember
That's
that
the history
yes,
of it.
there's a tremendous diversity of daps, and it came out from movements of the military companies. So we see it as just like, hey, what's up, but there's always a deeper meaning.
Did you know this? Follow for more Black history.
I don't disagree, but
How does she know? Is what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
disagree, but I think that
I just looked it up. It's true.
How? But how do you know?
You just got people that come back from the Vietnam War. That's easy.
But how do you know that they were the first person that dapped? It wasn't somebody before that.
I don't think she's really talking about
So-
the first people to do it.
Yeah, it's not,
You're talking about the. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying she's coming. Obviously, she did her research. She went on broad national television.
she's gotta be
and was talking
accredited.
about this, so she definitely probably did her fucking research.
I just looked it
She's
up
just
on
saying
Google.
that
It's easy.
how it came about, just the DAP.
You're talking about what we know as the DAP.
At what we
You wanna
know as the
discredit
DAP
shit.
and where it
Everything.
came from. So she's just saying like she went
Hold on, you
back.
saying
did her
speculation, P? How the fuck you know that was the first person?
Because I just looked it up.
Guys, let's have adult conversation in here because I want to hear. I didn't look at the video, so I'm curious to hear what everybody has to say about it because I don't know anything. Like, how are you going to educate somebody on
So,
something they don't know?
all
if
I
you're not
gotta
willing
say,
to?
all I gotta say about the whole thing is I respect what she said. She did her research. She had her point of view. She gave some facts. Now, to Nephew's point, I think as Black people, since in slave days and whatever, you know what I mean, the way we shook hands, the way we whatever, I think we've been doing that for a year now, forever. Now, can they put the name on it? Could they have solidified it? Yeah, that. So what she's saying, I don't think is wrong. But
I kind of missed a little bit what she said. What was her point?
She was just saying about how in the Vietnam War they used that as a significant thing between Black people to be like, yo, you good? You got my back.
For
I got your
survival,
back.
yeah.
For survival. You know what I mean? So
Because they were
everybody
being
got
shot by white soldiers.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody
shit.
got
the
you know.
same side. So like, bro, you got me.
Yeah, but everybody got certain daps on what they do. So to Nephew's point, he's saying that how does she know? He's just playing devil's advocate because we all know since the beginning of time, Black people, we cool as a bitch. So, you know what I'm saying? In the 30s and you jive turkey, you know, whatever they were saying back then.
Jive turkey's the 70s,
The
not
70s.
30s. Yeah.
But the 30s, whatever they were saying in the 30s, you know, they give me some, you know, I mean, think about all the different ways.
70s, skin
but,
the 70s.
but what I'm saying is, think about how many times.
But she said this happened from the 60s. Like, what it is mostly, I'm looking at is the acronym piece.
Yeah,
what we call it DAP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what she was really tailoring it to, not the handshake of
The DAP.
solitude.
It's coining.
It's coining what it is.
But that's exactly what I said. I said to play devil's advocate from what he was saying.
Not
is
everything
that-
needs to be devil's advocate, though.
No, but what I'm saying is he said to answer his question, he was like, "How do you know it's the first?" And I just said that.
Oh, I don't
what
think we
she
were
said
saying it was the first.
But all I said was what she said.
It's created
It could
the
be
DAP,
right.
the
It
word,
could be
yeah, the
right.
DAP, yeah.
That's
but
when it was
from what
coined.
he's saying is,
Yeah,
how do you know it's the
Gotcha.
first? And I said, well, Black people, as cool as we are, we've been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People been
Dap
doing
each other
different
up, yeah.
handshakes since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in the slave days, they probably had different handshakes that meant different things.
You know what I think they was doing
that's why
before
they-
then? Not.
And locking it in.
There was the slide. Yeah, let me say some skin.
Quick,
That's
quick,
what-
yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
that was. Early times.
Yeah.
They was locking that shit in way back then.
We don't know. We wasn't there.
We don't know.
Willie Briggs.
It would be nice
we
to
don't
Willie
know.
Briggs was.
Not in
We
slavery.
don't
My
know.
grandfather was. I do know.
I don't
So-
think he
so
told
Yeah,
you
it would
talk
be
to
nice
him.
to know, but I think
Talk
we
to
don't
him, man.
know.
We don't know.
Did you just say he
Speculative.
didn't tell me?
I said I don't think he told. I think you just pulling it up. Like, yeah, Willie Briggs. My dad was back then. I'll ask him.
Willie
He's
Briggs isn't my
77.
dad.
I know Willie Briggs is my
My
dad, one of my
grandfather.
dad's friends. But I'll holler at my
He
dad.
just say some shit like that. It's kind of corny, Pooh.
Nah, I'm
like
saying,
I would just
I'll
make
holler.
some shit up just to make the shit up.
It
You don't
sounded
think
like,
you
another
don't think it's a
video?
probability
corny.
it
that
sounded like off the cuff.
you don't feel like the probability of a human brain making something up
No,
based on something
That's
they
not-
feel
that-
is a fact?
that's not what he's saying.
What is he saying?
He's saying I'm making up what Willie told me. Now, if
So-
he's saying what Willie's making up what he told me,
No, I'm not
that's
s-
a different story. But he's saying that I'm making this shit up what Willie told me just to make a
So at what point did Willie tell you this, and what was the context
All the
around you
time.
being
Willie
told
used to have
this?
it.
Because this is a very specific conversation. This isn't something that you generally speak about. It's something that was brought up in conversation based on the
Boxing
handshake
buddies.
or the dap,
The
and
boxing
then you
buddy-
talk about it.
Boxing buddies, Papa Joe, which is his wife's and my ex-wife's uncle, how they used to dap up being white and black back in the day. I used to hear all that shit, bro.
When was that though? What was the years? The decade?
How old was Willie? Like 80?
Niggas is old. They old.
Nah, Willie about 70. He's about the same age as my dad, 77.
When Papa died, he was in his 80s, right?
So they could have been doing
Nah,
that.
he was in
the-
his
they-
70s.
They probably
70 what?
they could have been doing that around
Younger
that
than my dad.
when that been created. You
Yeah,
know,
he
what
was younger. Yeah.
Shit, so maybe it happened in the
Around
States
that-
prior to
in the
Vietnam,
60s.
and
And
when
it
they went
wasn't
over,
nothing
it
specific,
turned
like we created
into.
the dap. It was just like how they
feel
used to
like-
give each other handshakes.
I
They
feel
used to
like being
boxes.
coined, when it's coined is important too, though, because
Yeah.
you gotta
That's
give
what I'm
something a
saying. The coin is
definition.
something, yeah, I
But
get
that
it.
was I think that was the point of the video,
Right.
like letting you know, like when somebody made a definition, it was this,
Yeah.
regardless of like when it started and shit.
That's like saying the first thing to ever tell a joke. Like, how do you know where the joke came from?
I don't think she said the first thing ever in that video though.
No.
I don't think she said nothing about the first of anything. Besides
just-
when she
That's
first.
a good point.
I think that word "coined" is the
That's
powerhouse.
That's what
in
it
the
was.
That's what she was alluding to, you know what I mean, from the name of what we call it, the DAP. She was saying the DAP.
And it became a real thing when the people on the same side as you in war are shooting at you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big time to learn when it was coined. That's a hell of a
crazy.
time.
And there was a silent way for them to actually say, I got you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And they probably needed that at that point,
Right.
It
like
says-
life and death, like shit is going down.
What you got, P?
It just says, DAP is both a symbol among African American men that express unity, strength, defiance, or resistance, and a complex language for communicating information.
I mean, and that's true because think about it. Bloods got their own dap, Crips got their own dap,
Yeah.
whatever got their own dap. I'm pretty sure at one point in time y'all had your own dap.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I got friends.
Shout out
we
to
all-
Adam Storch. Every time I see him, he be trying to do the old Shadyville handshake with
remember
me,
that
and
shit.
I remember half of it, but I always be fucking up. But he got that shit down.
That's dope.
Nigga probably taught all his kids that shit.
Word up, man.
Yo,
Yo,
he's stupid.
That's
know,
love and loyalty
So
right there.
they say after 100 things do the same thing, it becomes almost a worldwide thing. So when it happened, well, from slavery apparently, like after the first 100 people did it, it became like a staple.
Wildfire.
Yeah.
Spread
Oh,
around.
yeah, they brought it
Yeah.
back to their
all started.
hometowns. And
Yeah, because I mean, you know,
Takes 100
like I said,
people to create
even years
something.
ago, even the slaves. I understand what you were saying about the, you know, give me some skin or whatever. But
that was-
you think about it like this.
Imagine
You know,
Knuckles,
just
that's
like we
probably
said,
before all that.
silent,
shit.
silent messages. Boom. This, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, silent messages. You can see somebody and do this, and then you'll know exactly what
That's
you
what
need
we
to know.
on today. Yeah.
She was saying
Like
too.
that-
That's why
like
they
that head
banned this
nod.
shit. That's why
yeah,
they
like
banned
the
the
head
dap
nod.
from
Yeah.
it because
You ever
niggas-
walk
Yeah,
into a
exactly.
spot and there was only like 5 to 10 black families out of 100 or somewhere around
Nigga,
there,
one black
and you run
person.
into, you walk past a black
They
man,
get that now.
and you just be like, "What up?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you, my nigga.
Yeah.
That eye, you get that eye contact too. Like if you like in a
Yeah.
place, what you
We
see
here.
a nigga,
I've
you,
been practicing
here.
saying what's up
Fact.
to black people more.
Real
'Cause
shit.
It's not like I've been trying not to do it, but somebody brought it to my attention. Like we don't even say what's up to each other no more. Like in the gym, you'll
That's a
look
fact.
down before you say what up.
You know what's
Life
funny? I
period.
speak to everybody, bro.
Same.
I know
Yeah.
it's not as normal. I know what you're
Right.
saying because the way I communicate is like I think it's a comfort thing for me. Like I need
Right.
to know who's all in my square
Get the
when I'm in
vibe
here,
right.
so I get that shit out the way
I don't
early.
think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I think he's saying, when's the last time you walked down the street and somebody
Right.
was walking past you and you was like, what up, man?
Yesterday,
it
for
be
me.
more. It's
Right.
That's
That-
what he's
Every
talking
day,
But
about.
that
every
is
day
the
on my
point,
street.
Yeah,
though,
but it's because
that's less
I'm
common.
basically a paranoid nigga. So
Try to get your what up.
I want, yeah, I want to feel you
We
out.
believe our own stereotypes.
Yeah.
So we don't even speak to each other.
almost
Yeah.
like you almost want to
So-
be aggressive towards your own kind.
Yeah.
Almost like I gotta protect something
Yeah,
or
like,
I
what
gotta
the fuck are
watch
you
out.
looking at type
Like
So
you know what I'm
now-
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Kill
You
all
know
that,
what?
but
That's
that's
why I
sad.
cover
That
up in the
shit is
gym
sad.
a lot
That shit is-
too,
that shit is
because
sad,
I don't
bro.
want to come off as like, because some people are intimidated by people that may be bigger than them, stronger than them, and if I'm around people that I feel like aren't as strong or they may view me as intimidating, and I might even interpret that wrong sometimes. But a lot of the time, I'll stay covered up because I don't want you to look at me like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a bigger
Showing
guy.
off and
Yeah,
feel-
because once you peel off and a motherfucker sees you have some muscles, they automatically give you a different energy.
Yeah,
And
they-
I've never liked that shit.
Right.
it's too fucking fake. It makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm too paranoid.
Look at you, girl.
Want to talk to you extra or like, nah,
I
Yo,
don't want to fuck with you,
killed
nigga.
God damn. You put the R on that motherfucker.
Keep you at arm's distance, buddy.
You know what it is too about
I hear
niggas
you,
too?
bucko.
Our straight face look mean as hell.
yeah.
That shit be right there.
Yeah.
You already catch the wrong vibe and you just assuming shit.
But based on what? Because I've never walked up to a white person and seen them like out in the wild, and they're just like,
I have.
I just
I
walked
do.
to see a white person. They look like a
Yeah, but we're in a
it's a
different
difference.
situation, bro. Like,
because we're vilified.
very much so.
And like
Very
I
much
said,
so.
we believe our own stereotypes.
And
So
we
imagine.
almost programmed to hate each other. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like we programmed like the music that we listen to, the environments that we live in. Like
Luckily, you
it's
have
almost
dark-skin
programmed
jokes every
to
week.
Even down to the black cat theory, everything.
I love that.
Everything goes
Yeah.
down to how much we diminish our own kind. bro.
Yeah.
But that's funny too. Do you ever think about that? Like everything besides like the stock market is black. That's bad. Like the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
The
Black Friday.
plague,
Black
Nah,
cat
Black
is
Friday
bad luck.
good.
The black
Know what I mean?
plague.
The
Get
black
them discounts
Just
on
named
Black
it
Friday.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
So
If you're the outcast, you're the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
If you see
You know
the
what I mean?
death-
Like,
you
it's
know
that's
the
funny.
skull and bone symbols on a fucking can
Poison.
or whatever, poison, whatever. It's black and white. It's like it's crazy.
So while we're talking about
The Black
blackness,
Death.
right?
Shit.
So last week they had the
Black Plague, I mean.
they had the talks about how they were trying to give citizenship to South Africans in the United States. So a Muslim leader, I had to bring this up since we keep talking about blackness. And it's kind of changing the topic, but I wanted to ask y'all this question. So they were talking about granting residency to the South Africans that were being ridiculed down there and forced out. So they were trying to.
There's a lot of white people in South Africa too.
That's what they're
They run
talking
shit.
about.
They run shit.
Those are the people that they're talking about. Giving they don't want the Mexicans in there, but they're going to give them guys solitude here in the United States. So, but anyway, so a Muslim leader said this, and since we're talking about blackness, I want to get your opinion. A Muslim leader just dropped a wild proposal. Why don't you give $5 million for black Americans to sell their citizenship and leave the U.S. instead of giving residency to wealthy foreigners? He argued that black Americans haven't gotten much out of their citizenship anyway, and that most would leave in a heartbeat if the money was right. Is that just another wild idea, or is that something that you might consider?
It was like the Trump.
They'll lose too much money.
It's the Trump things where he's saying basically you buy your citizenship.
$5 million.
The $5 million. If you pay United States $5 million, we will give you citizenship.
Oh yeah, he was trying to do that to help with the debt.
So the dude brought up
But
something.
that's not even how the debt work.
So there was a dude. What Hoodie was just reading was a dude was like a proposition like, y'all ain't give black people still in this country shit, and you trying to have people pay to become a citizen. How about y'all give the African American the option to give $5 million to go back to Africa if they want to be a citizen over there.
I'll take that shit right now.
Give me that $5 million. I'm gone.
I'm gone. Fuck them kids.
That's deep.
Nah, I'm
I
taking
seen
my
a
kids
whole- I
with
thought
me.
I sent y'all a
Because
video on
Africa
that
right
shit.
now is the new epicenter of where everything is growing.
Because
Right
in Ghana, they have a
always-
Americanized. They have an Americanized
been.
Ghana section, so they have like cities. I don't know. Don't quote me on cities, but I know that they have a space.
Like areas.
They have an area
Yeah.
in Ghana which is an Americanized citizenship of Ghana. So you can go as an American black person. You can go to and live in this in this place and have full citizenship in Ghana if you live in this space, and then that's how you're able to infiltrate the rest of the country.
That's what's going on in Africa right now. Is they're expanding, they're innovating, and the same thing with the Middle East. Like, you know what I'm saying, like Abu Dhabi and all that. They like the structures and the landscape and everything like that. They're creating.
They have so much space out there.
But they have the money and they're innovating like new buildings and new like if you look at their buildings out in Abu Dhabi, like it's crazy.
Yeah, but
And
they're
Y'all
not,
realize
they're not
all that
building them.
shit's
though,
in
P.
Asia.
But what I'm
It's
saying,
UK
They're
companies and
developing.
American companies that are building
I
them.
think what he's saying is they're developing areas, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I interpreted.
yeah,
from
and
what
what in
y'all said.
Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Africa they're just developing, and there's just more more I would say creation of new developments and
I have to look into
They
that.
want workers. Realize that,
people are
added
moving over
workers.
to Africa.
Added workers?
And you think about
my
what the
opinion.
United States is doing right now and Europe is doing right now. We still stuck in the 19s, 20s, and 30s, 40s. We not
Like our progression is slow
our
compared to like
infrastructure.
China.
Yeah.
China
Oh,
is in the future like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
have
you
to.
can speak
There's
on
like
that.
45 billion people.
You know all that India
What'd you-
stuff and Saudi
India's
Arabia
growing
and
too,
stuff?
though, too.
But you know that shit's in Asia.
Say it on the
You
mic.
don't
Say it on
realize
the
that?
mic.
India?
On Instagram. I
Yeah,
sent
it's
that video
crazy.
that he
You
was
don't
just
got
tweeting
India-
about. I sent
India
it to
and-
you on Instagram.
India and China, that's like the two
With the
most
selling your
populous
5 million.
countries in the
Asia.
world.
I'm gonna play that in a
I
sec.
think India just passed China. It's crazy. Them
Before
motherfuckers
we
fucking.
because Quest has to get out of here shortly, right?
I do too.
8:30.
Well, but, yeah.
So before he leaves, I wanted to play that video that you put in the group P from Earn Your Leisure. Is Donald Trump purposely trying to cause a recession?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He
They just
signed
asked
a
him
look
about
like
bill.
that.
He
And
just
it-
signed a bill to avoid a recession.
Like everything that he's doing right now, like even if you have, they're saying if you have advisors that are like telling you this is wrong, either you're not listening to them, and because you're the president, you do whatever the fuck you want to do,
Yeah.
or you're intentionally doing this because what he's doing right now is on the path to lead us to a recession. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Every major investment, they call them they're the investment people. They know their shit about the economy and shit. And like every major one is saying we like certain percentages are saying we on the way, but some of them are higher than the other ones.
So let's check this out real quick. I'm gonna play this. It was an Instagram video, I think.
Facebook. Yep,
see.
their
Come on.
page.
Press
Earn Your
play
Leisure. Earn Your
and
Leisure.
was waiting for it to pop up. Damn, it
My
didn't
baby
pop
daddy
up.
got a whole iPhone.
Oh damn!
What was you looking at?
Hold
girl?
up. Nah, that's face. That
the
should jump
feed.
right to
That's just a
Facebook.
feed.
Go
Yeah.
to the page. Go to
Nah,
the.
I'm playing the link you
Oh,
submitted.
okay. I was about to say go to the.
I've never seen
I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna pull it back.
Does Trump want to cause a recession on purpose?
I wouldn't put it past. But hypothetically, if he were to create a chaotic scenario to then be savior while the bond market, because we have so much debt we have to refinance. The only way to push up the economy is through quantitative easing. If I cause a crash, wouldn't it behoove the banks to then print money again and refinance the debt? Hypothetically, because he can't be this, I'm trying to find a kind term to use, but economically ignorant to think this tariff plan is going to work and that it would not cause all of this damage in the economy and the market. Like you've assembled one of the smartest administrations in history, and nobody told you that this tariff plan wouldn't work when it was one of the pillars that caused the Great Depression.
But what if you have just a bunch of yes men around you that are scared to tell you no, and you're not fully educated on everything that you are trying to accomplish? Because most presidents have people that they rely on, right? I think he kind of just does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And surrounds himself with people that are similar in his thought process.
I agree, but I would say David Sachs isn't that. He's the one who put the crypto idea together and pitched to him. So he has some good economic advisors who have done well, who don't have as much fear as others would. So it could be an issue of him not listening, but it's insane to have that cabinet that he's assembled and then take this route to
Nephew,
economic
what you
prosperity.
said is right. So he said the people around Trump will benefit. So they had this deal for so since the election, Elon Musk has gained he was already the richest man in the world, but he's made $177 billion. So he just so they were going to give a deal to Verizon to update the way we telecommunicate with the aviation stuff. So what happened is Trump came in and he nixed that deal, and then he gave it to his man,
Of course, yeah.
Elon Musk,
He helped get
to
him
get
elected.
that deal. So now, so the
Skylink thing.
Skylink shit, is gonna get that deal instead of Verizon now. You know what I mean? But this is my thing. How can you? I mean, Starlink.
Yeah.
But how can? I thought as a government official you had
Can't
to
do that shit.
You're not supposed to be able to benefit off your cap.
You can't be able to benefit off of it. So
You're not supposed to sponsor a company at all. At all.
You're not. You're supposed to give away. You're supposed to
sponsoring.
I get what he's saying.
Trading.
No. We all agree. I'm just saying it's not sponsoring. Air quotes.
Yeah, but it's
bro.
damn near insider trading. You got knowledge of what's trying to go on. You kill it, and then you give it to somebody you know to benefit them. And then, but you smoke the original idea that's going to have the same effect. That's illegal as well in any business.
And you don't think that on the back end, once Trump gets out of office, Trump gonna get a couple of them billions?
He already started his own crypto. Like he's making this. He's making this a business. He's making this a transactional presidency. He doesn't have the best interests of the country. He has his own financial transactional type. You know what I'm saying?
First one was
like
transactional too, though.
it was. He had his family members doing crazy shit, but people don't pay attention to that. Like, and they'll try to deflect and talk about they're having trans people go to the bathroom rather than I'm gonna steal your money from you in front of your face.
Yeah, how the fuck you have Jared Kushner?
They're gonna talk. They're gonna talk about culture issues to get people riled up and to get people confused and to get people off the mark of what's really going on. And what's really going on is these niggas is corrupt, bro.
I would say both sides are corrupt.
Yeah,
but that's always been my stance. Like, if you're on the Democratic side and you say that they never do anything wrong or corrupt, or vice versa, and you're on the Republican side and you say the same thing, that means that you're partially blind to everything they do.
No, you're not partially. You are.
But you're missing the fact it's not about.
And let me just finish. Let me just finish because I was quiet, just waiting, listening, respectfully. This is just my opinion. It's that on both sides they do things wrong. They do things that will hurt the American population. They do things that are selfish, right?
Yeah, that's the word.
But why would they highlight those things that they do? That's for the other side to do. My only opinion and strongest opinion is that you have to pay attention to what both sides are doing, right or wrong, because they're all doing shit that is improper and incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do certain shit to benefit the American people. Both sides do that. And that's my point. Both sides do things that'll benefit the American people, but at the same time, they all have ulterior motives. And when you're so binded to one side, it almost blinds you to the negative shit that they're doing. That's why I refuse to get so stuck to either side.
I'm just gonna respond. I think you're missing the point. It's not about pointing one side at the other side. It's about, of course, Democrats do shit. Of course, Republicans do shit. But my point is, this administration is doing so much blatant shit because you'll have scandals in the press will play that shit. Like niggas get caught. What's the nigga name? Cuomo got caught fucking with bitches or doing some other shit. The governor of New York State
Anthony
got
Weiner
caught.
singing dick pics.
He doing some fuck shit in the press, and people don't. Some people will try to talk shit negatively about the press, but the press plays a role. It's a check on power. You know what I'm saying? It's a check on a president. It's a check on a governor. And what right now is going on, there's so much blatant, I'm talking about blatant, that it's not even about Republican or Democrat. It's about this administration that is doing so many.
You know how I know you're not paying attention to what I say because you're so tied to the Democratic Party? You say I'm missing the point, but I have a non-biased opinion. So what I'm saying isn't in response to what anybody's saying. What I'm saying is like my independent thoughts. It's not in response to anything anybody says, but because it doesn't agree and align with everything you're saying, you automatically feel like I'm missing the point. No, I'm just stating my opinion on certain things that applies to both sides.
Of course.
But since it doesn't align with your side, you feel like I'm missing the
because
point.
I thought you were because I said something.
You
I
thought
you
and
were,
you thought and you
addressing-
assumed, but I'm
you were
super
addressing what I
clear.
said.
I'm super clear. No, I'm super clear on how I speak, what I say. I even preface by saying this is my opinion on both sides, but that still doesn't matter when you're so tied to one side, all you hear is what you want to hear. And if it doesn't fit your narrative, your brain isn't even clear enough to hear what's being said. And I'm not just applying this to you. I'm just saying that this is what I've noticed from people that are super tied to politics. I'm not super tied to politics. I'm super tied to the information that's out there. I don't ride for the Dems. I don't ride for the Republicans. I just absorb information, so it keeps me open to seeing what's going on both sides.
So what things with the Dems right now is going on that we know these are facts? So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna just say facts.
What he's saying is right now you're making it personal.
I'm not.
But what
That's
he's
exactly
saying,
it.
But what he's saying
That's
is
exactly it.
What he's saying is Democrats, they do stuff wrong.
Of course they do.
You know,
Just
Republicans
like the
do stuff
other
wrong.
side.
I started the conversation specifically saying that Trump bought Elon Musk on. Elon Musk is directly benefiting from inside information,
Which I don't agree with.
from Trump. That you know, because this is the
Trump
deal
is
that they
the
had.
inside.
So obviously, when Trump's administration came on, he became privy to this information, and instead of giving it to Verizon like it was already pre-set up, he said, "You know what? I'm sorry, but we're gonna give it to Elon Musk." My advisor.
I almost feel like that's why they created the Doge, because what they've always said out loud and up front since the beginning was it's not a governmental agency. So if it's not governmental agencies, then it gives you more leeway to deal with that agency.
But how do they get governmental
contracts and things of that nature?
Not even so much contracts, but contracts too. But how do they get governmental
assistance?
No, what would it be? You have to have certain security. How do you get governmental security to be able to?
So Elon Musk has like security levels, like that.
So he has.
I'm not aware of that.
So he has.
It's like
I didn't know
confidential
that.
levels.
That's what I was trying to say. Because we had Trump in office with a nigga in Jared Kushner, who's his son-in-law, who can't even get security clearance to be in meetings. How is he part of your cabinet? And he can't even get cleared by security to listen to what the fuck you're trying to tell him.
Because if you're a government,
crazy.
if you work for the government, you are held accountable by Congress or held by your job, but you're sworn in, like you're in office, or you're like you have a standard. Now, if you're a private like he is, they're saying like there's a lot of pushback right now because there is no oversight over him. He's not been security cleared.
Over who?
Over Doge, over Musk and
Elon
his
Musk?
employees. Yeah, over Elon Musk and his employees. He don't have any type of regulation.
He don't got that clearance.
He don't have any clearance.
Damn.
But the president is allowing to him, and he's actually getting like information. Not top
Wasn't
secret,
he born in a
but
different
sensitive.
country?
He's from South Africa.
South Africa.
Yo, you know
sensitive
what
information, like he's going to the IRS and he's getting all of our in their. You know what I'm saying?
Who, by the way, has the biggest racist problem in
You know what I
the
realized for a
naturalized
while
world
now?
right now is South Africa. All the apartheid that goes on over there. I just wanted to say that.
Damn.
You know what I realized for a while now with this government shit? It's always just fighting two lesser evils. It's never really, because there's not one person that can have the best idea for everybody. And it's definitely not people that's out of modern time.
Yeah.
Even though there's three branches, they're all out of modern time.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to.
There should be no reason we only have two options, man.
Yeah,
Well,
to me that
we
sounds
don't.
crazy.
We
I mean,
don't.
even
We
the
have
independent
more.
sound okay. 1, 2, you got independence, right? But at the same time,
Line niggas up.
like there's so many different ideas and thoughts that people have. I think this shit is so outdated to have like Democrats and Republicans. I think that's outdated. We're trying to hold
old is
on to
Donald
that.
Trump?
Yeah. I say they Bloods and Crips, just like the gang members.
Yeah.
Like
Literally.
you should wear your flag when you on the motherfucking floor and you talking. If you're a Democrat, you should wear your red rag. If you're a Republican on the floor talking,
rag.
because they're gangsters on a level
sweatpants on?
that
It's
we don't
just
even.
I'm so mad right now.
It's just like how do you differentiate like who you're voting for and what they're going for if it's only two options?
Yo, Quest, can I sit in your seat? That nigga been sitting in that seat for 2 years, man. That shit got his imprints in it. His muscles got bigger. The seat done changed and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get home safe too.
That nigga's chair got calf muscles.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The fuck?
Nah, but I mean, I
stronger
think, you know,
sitting in
like
that
I
shit.
said, the hard part is, you know, we do get caught up in our opinions, and I'm not nobody's saying that you wrong, P, because the things that you say.
Yeah, I'll never say that because
right.
you tell me stuff that I don't even know half the time. But when I speak on a lot of things, it's not me coming from a perspective that I'm saying I know. What I'm giving is my opinion based on what I hear, which results in me like research and shit. So some of the stuff you might talk about might be factual, right? But I just see that it's hard for you to look at your side as if I never heard you say the Democrats do anything wrong. And that's what kind of bothers me. Like, there's gotta be something that you're not paying attention to.
Because I don't really care about what motherfuckers do.
That's the part of the problem, bro.
I don't care about what Republicans do. I care about what this single person's administration doing, because he's doing so many things that, and people say,
okay, so it's not a Democrat Republican thing. It's the Trump administration.
His administration.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand what he's saying, because
his administration to me is dangerous.
Okay.
So we had a conversation a couple months ago, and we were saying this is the greatest country on earth.
Yeah.
He believes that. You know, I believe that. And then I heard a couple things, like sometimes like from like, let's shake things up. But if I believe this is the greatest country in the world, why are we going in the way that things are going that he is on the route to doing? If you're not really paying attention, he's doing a lot of things behind the scenes that is gonna shake up this country, where it's gonna change this country in a major way, and not in a good vision, in my opinion.
I think a lot of the shit he brings up is
even financially. We don't say presidents could really do anything that's gonna affect me day to day. But this administration right now,
no, they do affect. They do. I mean, I've been affected financially by certain things he's done day to day. But my whole thing is like, and this is only an opinion. It's not a fact. What I'm saying is the country has been run the same way for so long that I'm almost not afraid to take a chance with something different being done, because how can you change is always scary. It doesn't have to be on a political field. It can be in your household or in your day-to-day life. Oh, I got to do this new job, or I got to go here and travel away from my family for a month. 100%. And this shit is scary, but it might benefit me for the rest of my life. So that's my stance in it. That's related to everything I've ever said. Like, I've had to do mad things that have been like scary, different, unknown, foreign, but I had to do it in order to make things change. Sometimes things worked out, sometimes things didn't. That has always been my stance on it. So I'm not like sticking up for Trump or
I feel like, do we know exactly? Do you guys have any idea like what his overall goal is? He's got 4 years to do starting what he's doing.
I used to think I did, but I don't now.
I do, but I want to respond real quick.
I don't.
Cap. I feel like what you're saying is there's no never mind. Jetta, you fucking
sorry,
bro. I had a whole thing to say. I was waiting for Cap to shut the fuck up. And this nigga Jetta, I was like, yo, hey,
that's crazy. As I was waiting for him to shut the fuck up too.
I was only talking for 8 seconds, bro.
That's crazy. But
I was talking for 8 seconds. If 8 seconds is enough to rattle your brain to the point you can't remember your points,
go ride a bull.
Then it's not something you passionate about, bro.
No, it is.
You don't know what the fuck you was
bullshit
saying.
You was about to say.
Fuck both y'all niggas.
Yeah.
What I would say is about what you was talking about with P, about like not disrespecting or saying anything bad about the Democrats, and looking at, I would say not as much changed for the average motherfucker in life, right? What you got to look at is what they're saying they're gonna do, and what they're proving.
Yeah.
So it's not about a whataboutism. Well, what about Hillary? Hillary did this. What about Obama? Obama did this. It's more about what Trump's doing now, and it's unprecedented, and it's scary as a motherfucker.
Yes, so I ain't gonna lie, it's scary.
I mean? He's been a liar too.
That's kind of why I said certain things are scary. Like change is scary, right? To me, it's scary. Anybody I've talked to in the last week or two, I've said things like, yo, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm still being as hopeful as I possibly can. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, And I'm thinking like maybe he knows what he's doing,
He
but at
don't
the
know
same
what he-
time, I'm like maybe the nigga don't know what the fuck he's doing, and he's really freestyling shit,
You know
which is
why?
dangerous.
You know why I don't
why I
think he
asked
knows
that
what he's doing?
Dangerous,
You know why I don't think he knows what he's doing? Because what did he just say? He said, "Who the fuck would let Canada be in charge of the electricity and this and that? Who the fuck would do that?" Well, guess what, you idiot? In 2020, you're the one that brokered and signed that deal.
Well, you got to keep in mind it's only
I
1.5.
said that
Listen,
to the
this is
group.
one thing that it's only 1.5. I don't say 1.5 million like it's a small number. It's a large number. When you look at the population of our country, it's a small percentage out of our country. So 1.5 million is how many people they deliver electricity to. So if you had to take that risk and say, I'm going to push on you so that you give me what I want based on the amount of electricity you're supplying us, that's almost a move that if you're forced to take or you got to flex your muscle, it's one of those, me being the type of dude I am, I'm like, fuck, sometimes I got to take risks that even my wife doesn't understand, but it leads, we wouldn't be here if I didn't take the risk my wife didn't want me to take when I took it, is my point.
No, I agree.
Hold on,
I just
Hoodie.
need 2 seconds. I agree with you. All I'm saying is the simple fact of him saying, "Who the hell would
Set
do
this
this
deal.
deal?"
Who made this deal?
But he was the one that did it. That's my only point.
And it's
I
also
agree.
illustration.
I agree with you 100%.
Get the fuck out of here.
I
swear
agree
to
with
God,
you
I put-
100. Listen, I agree with you
Yo,
100%.
yo, Google that shit, man.
I got it's in the. I'm gonna play.
Yo, hold
It's
up, hold
in-
up, hold
it's-
up.
It's he played it. He played
So
after
you
me. Hoodie didn't
talking to
see
Mike
it.
P. You saying the nigga
So,
Trump made the
so last week he said,
And
"Who
his
the fuck
first
would make this
administration.
deal
Yes.
to do for Canada to have?" That was my point.
So did anybody saying he get any kickback about that?
No, because they're controlling.
give a
The
fuck.
new thing is they're controlling the
media.
they're controlling the media on who can talk bad about Trump.
Yeah,
Who can talk to
Nephew,
him?
I'm gonna buy you a new arm this week.
It's,
man.
yeah, thank you. It's
I'm sorry.
OAN, it's Fox, it's all them niggas. He controls who gets the seats.
So now
How is that happening? I don't understand.
Because he has the power to do it. So he's trying to.
That's
he's
never
trying,
happened
He's
before.
trying to. He's going against norms. He's trying to get as much executive power above. There's supposed to be 3 branches
Yeah,
that have
familiar.
the same amount.
Yeah.
So they're all checks on each other, right? He's trying to get so much power that he's just doing whatever the fuck
Like
he
a
wants to do.
dictator.
So let me ask a specific question. So if he's the one that when was that 2020 that he did that
2016.
26
That administration, yes.
and that was Trump's administration.
2020.
He was 2020.
2016 to
So that was
2020.
Obama.
No.
2020, Biden came in.
Who was
2021.
2016?
2016
2012
to
to
20.
2016 was Obama.
That's why I just said that.
2016. To
So
2016 to 2020 was Trump. 2020
2020 to 24 is
2020
Biden.
Biden. The
2016 to 20
24 to 28
So you're
is
saying
gonna
in
be
2016 Trump is the one that
Yes, that made a deal with Canada.
All right. So my question is this: if it's documented, and is it like on video, or is it just documented enough that it can be? Who's preventing people from like? We're not dealing with legacy
Nobody.
media now.
Nobody.
What I'm saying is, if this information comes out on the PBD podcast, Joe Rogan or Joe Budden, this isn't legacy media. These are people that are like on YouTube, which are actually bigger than legacy media, like CNN and Fox. So who's preventing these people from speaking on that? Because they can't be blacklisted. They can't be shut. They're not being shut down for delivering that information right now.
Because he won't get fact checked by people like Joe Rogan. Is
They
a
don't
right,
believe the
is
fact
a,
checks, though.
He's a right.
So you're saying it's Joe Rogan's choice not to even?
Yes, not to even indulge in anything
That's
like
my
that.
question.
They won't. They're right leaning, and you have like I put.
So we can do it then.
But
We
but
can,
they don't
I
believe
have.
the fact check anyway. Like you
Nah,
can
but we
literally
can
go
do it
Trump.
right now. That's what I'm saying. Google
Like
it and
his people
look it up.
don't
Somebody,
care.
please, man.
So Donald
Like, yo.
Trump tweeted, "Why would our country allow another country to supply us with electricity for even a small area? Who made these decisions?" And can you imagine Canada was able to use our electric in the life of innocent people? Hold on. And then the other tweet was, hold on, it's gonna come up.
It was him.
It was him.
That sounds so
Hold on, I'm gonna play that shit, bro.
What you send a video to the joint? Where'd you send the video?
Was
to,
it a white guy?
Because I can
talking
play
about
it from the look. If it's I can send it. I send it and I'll play it. But where is it at?
It's in the pod.
The
It's in the
Facebook.
It's in the Facebook. Yep.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
It's the it's the Daily Show.
Listen,
the Daily
Pete,
Show.
Pete, resend it to the group chat.
Yeah, send it again because there's mad shit in there. I be having to like.
I'm sending it right now.
Scroll through.
Sending it right now. It's gonna be the next joint. But even with your
I got it.
You're like some of his
nigga should be president.
Some of his decisions, like even with like the tariffs, like you're gonna talk about we're gonna get our own lumber, we're gonna tariff y'all lumber and y'all wood from Canada. First of all, you trying to beef with our allies. We're gonna need you.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that off the rip when he was beefing with Canada and Mexico. I was like, damn, we're in a sandwich. Between Canada and Mexico. I mean, anybody that thinks logically is like, that's not a good move, bro.
Like you're going against our allies. And the same thing with Europe. And now they're all know what he's doing. He's unifying everybody against us.
Yeah.
All of our Europe right now is allying all together. Now they're talking. The EU is talking about tariffing us.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Now Mexico and Canada are on some like we're gonna. And meanwhile, China, they're going to eat that shit up. Okay, other people are going to go and get their shit from China, which is going to hurt our business.
Everybody gets their shit from China anyway.
But it's going to hurt us even more. They're going to stop
You know
trading.
something I seen from the lady Carolyn Levitt, I think was it the White House press secretary?
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, I seen her speaking on the current tariffs that we have on us from other countries that we never speak about. I tried to find it since that day. I should have clipped it that day, but I didn't. But there was like 5 or 7 different countries that have major tariffs on our goods that we never talk about.
Some of that is misleading, though.
I mean, if
that administration is very misleading.
Now,
I'm gonna tell you. But if you get that, then
so
we can look it up.
P, this is where I land. This is where I live. So you're saying it's misleading what she said. Listen.
It could have been. I don't know.
This is my point. What she spoke about, you're saying it's misleading before you even hear what she said. This is what leads me to believe that you're too invested in one side, because I would want to hear the facts and the information first before I came to that conclusion. And for some reason, it's hard for you to do that. For me, it's not hard. If I hear something, no matter what side it's from, I'm going to research that shit.
I believe that there's countries that tax our goods. I don't think the taxation of imported or exported goods is necessarily a bad thing for anything.
It's like a natural thing.
I think the reality is how he's going about trying to bully it is how and why people are having such a problem.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, fuck y'all. This is what we gonna do. You bitch ass niggas.
He could have did it quietly almost.
But listen.
He didn't have to put it on stage to like.
He could have had a plan like we're gonna do 3%, 5%, and increase it.
But that doesn't even matter.
25.
For the first part, or for the most part, tariffs don't affect the country that you're imposing them on. It affects the consumers the goods are coming into. So if we're putting 25% tariffs on China, we're paying for the 25%.
Yeah, through taxes.
Yeah, and if they don't do something totally different here in our country, while we're facing those while they are getting hit with those tariffs, then we're the only ones to suffer. That is a fact.
Because we can't buy their goods.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it affects them too.
It's like you put all them tariffs over there, and them steel. They put all the steel workers out. Harley Davidson moved their fucking shop to what was it, Germany or some shit like that.
Said bye.
It's like they did. Like,
so what if he did? I seen something about getting rid of federal income tax. Do you think that would equal or balance out?
You can't because then Social Security.
But look, that's not the question. The question is, do you think that if they got rid of federal income tax in place of these tariffs, do you think it would be worth?
No, we'd end up in the purge.
Federal income tax and all the income taxes, even though we're in debt. So it's just like I said, there's certain things that every financial organization blows up things. So it's just like this, Cat. We're going to say we're doing a job for editing. You're going to say, all right, well, we're going to charge this much for editing, right? Whether it takes us an hour or whether it takes us 5 hours, this is the charge for it, right? So there's so many different things that the government is using. They'd be like $1,000 for a toilet, or there's so many pumped up charges on ways that we can save money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So there's ways around it, but with the federal income tax, what he's talking about is Medicaid, Social Security, different things like that that are funding the people that are working that paid into that for their whole.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Oh, that's you?
That was me.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, Social Security funds itself. So he's talking about no taxes on Social Security. If you don't tax Social Security will be bankrupt in 4 or 5 years.
I think the point
it's just
was
not realistic.
It was federal income tax, period, not just Social Security.
No, but it was also tips for waged workers. He had a whole big layout. It wasn't just that.
Yeah,
he had a bunch of stuff.
He said tips.
But
you're talking about something.
As a small business owner, you have to also consider state taxes. That's the one thing I haven't heard anybody talk about because
some states don't have state tax.
Listen to what I'm saying though. New York State, sir, what up? What up? What you got in the bag? Huh? What you got in the bag?
You got a fish sandwich in that motherfucker.
So, I didn't hear anything about state taxes. I heard things about federal taxes. So it's not like he was trying to eliminate taxes, period, because the state gets a lot of tax money, period, off the rip. So the federal gets a lot of money as well, but what I was hearing was the tariffs could eventually replace the federal income taxes. Speak on it. I want to hear your opinion.
The only thing that he said is that I agree on is so like Texas, Florida, those are the only two
I know
that
Florida
I know
for sure.
Those are the only two that I know don't have a state tax. So you know what I mean? Those states rely on the federal tax to coincide for that. But New York and like California are like the two highest
taxing the fuck out of you.
State.
Yeah.
So, that's why a lot of those game shows, like when you go on game shows, like if you go on to The Price is Right and you win 100,000, right? You're going to get taxed from California state tax. You're going to get taxed from the New York state tax.
Yeah.
And you're going to get taxed from the federal tax because they all want their money.
You know why these two states are taxed the most, right?
They have the most people.
Got the most people, so you have the most people on social services.
They're also the richest states still.
Everything about the infrastructure is super expensive.
The infrastructure, all that. So that's why, if we choose to live it. But at the same time, and our education is one of the higher. So we have better education scores compared to a lot of these states that, you know what I'm saying, like down south, like in Florida, where they don't have state, they don't have state, they don't have they don't have the state taxes, they don't have the people to fund, you know what I'm saying, their way of living, you know what I'm saying. So but there's no way you can go out without federal taxes.
So you say there's no way you can go without federal taxes
because the money that you make off of taxes.
I wasn't done bro.
Off of tariffs.
I know it's difficult, but
go ahead.
You say there's no way to go without federal taxes, but there was a point in time where there was no federal taxes. I'm not saying that would be easy to get back to, but if you can't see a world without federal taxes, do you think it might be because you've already been pre-programmed to think that that's exactly what is needed?
Just because that we have so many people and so much like infrastructure, just so many, I would say, luxuries in life that we don't even look at every
day.
I
totally understand that. What I'm saying is, do you think there's a probability because you can't see it,
I can't,
is part of your problem?
Because my main thing is
that to P or to the group?
Everybody.
My main thing.
If we don't let nephew answer after you done,
I'm
he gonna fucking spaz.
My main thing is because the money that you make off of tariffs, the money that you make off of tariffs is not even close enough. You know what I'm saying?
Federal income tax started in 1913, bro. There's just way less people back then, so it's not apples and oranges.
We have way more people.
You want to Google that?
Yeah, it's not.
You Google
it's
when
not apples and
federal
oranges.
income tax started?
So that's the first thing. The second thing is the tariffs aren't generating us money as citizens. It might generate us a little bit of money as a country, but that money, if it's not for taxes, isn't getting sent back down to us.
It's not much either compared.
That's the first thing.
taxes.
Like it's way different. Like
And
hold on, real quick. I just want to say one thing, and I'll shut the fuck up for the rest of the
We
night.
don't want you to shut the
Listen,
fuck up.
10% of the country makes up 90% of this country's wealth. Why don't 90% of this country, or 10% of this country, pay 90% of the taxes?
Say that one more time, please.
10% of this country
Yeah.
makes up for 90% of our wealth. Why don't that
When you
10%,
say makes up,
they own that much money?
So you're saying that
10%,
the other 90% doesn't matter financially?
No. In
what ways? Like,
why don't that 10% pay the share of the taxes?
I'm kind of slow sometimes. I'm very analytical. So
They're
my
saying
brain,
the top 10%.
Hold, let me finish asking him this question, please, because I don't process as fast as y'all do. So you're saying that if the other 90% didn't exist, the top 10% could still...
No, because they would have nobody to work for them. They would have nobody to work
I
for.
don't get that.
What I'm saying is 10% of the people in this country own 90% of the money.
It's this country is ran by
10%
corporations.
of the people.
You have corporations.
Yeah.
So you have corporations, and now you have the Trump administration, which is like almost like the
Feeding
chaotic, like the oligarchs.
Yeah, just feeding them.
Like the oligarchs. So now you have the companies versus the oligarchs.
Yeah.
So the oligarchs, they want to make just disorder. They want to do chaos. The companies want consistency. They want, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's really about the rich and the rich. So the rich people has been running this country for years and years.
Since
and
day
years.
one.
Since years and years and years. I would say probably since like the 70s. Like the 70s and when these corporations started getting super huge. But
I would say since day one.
That's not anything about what I said, though. I didn't say any of that.
What he was saying, 1913, the 16th Amendment officially became a part of the Constitution, granting Congress constitutional authority to levy taxes on corporate, and the short-lived Revenue Act
Nephew fact?
Of 1861.
Give me my fucking nephew fact, Buck. Give me the button.
1861 predated the 16th Amendment as the first official federal income tax, but it was eventually repealed in 1872. So around that time, it's the 16th Amendment where you started taxing.
But what he was saying is in our country, right? We have 100% population. 10% of that population
owns 90% of the money.
I wouldn't say owns. 10% of that population, they're the richest part of our population is that 10%. So the money that they make, that the 10% generates, is more money than the other 90% of the country.
So does that include the taxes that are generated from the other 90%?
That's my point.
They don't.
Why don't they pay 90% of the fucking tax bill? They make 90% of the money.
I'm a little confused.
So our tax system is fucked up. So you have the top 10%. The more you make, these billionaires and their lobbyists, they strategize on how to
get around the tax.
Code.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So they don't have to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
So what he's saying is, if they actually had to pay federal, because they said Trump. Like you have politicians that'll say Trump, you haven't paid his taxes
since
like
8 years, right? 10
you know what I'm saying? You haven't paid any. You enjoy the luxuries of this country, but you don't pay. You don't pay. You enjoy the luxuries you made of this country. Has allowed you to make the money that's because you couldn't do it in another country. I would assume, you know what I'm saying? Because of the freedoms of this country, you were allowed to become a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even targeting Trump. But the average billionaire, the average millionaire, they cheat. Not saying all of them, but the majority of them will figure out not to pay their taxes.
I mean, they have ways to,
of course, loopholes.
To not be long-winded, Pete.
Donate to charity.
If they do it like this, to not be long-winded.
Go ahead.
Everything you're saying is legit. If they wanted to solve the taxation problem, the easiest way to do it is to say,
Don't
know
say
what?
Flat tax. Don't say that.
You have to pay
this percentage.
A percentage of what you make yearly to the taxes would cure hunger. And the United States
are you saying to the top 10%?
The top 10%.
And because they're not obligated, because they're not obligated to pay the same amount of tax, they're not contributing as much.
Yes.
No,
so that's
right
not
now
something
that. There's brackets.
I know about brackets,
just
but
the top
once
ones.
it passed the bracket that I live in, I honestly
ones.
stopped paying attention to it.
The top,
just being real.
Like the top.
So you're saying that the
5%.
people that like the
billionaires. 50, like you making $2 billion a year. You know what I'm saying? Like you're making.
They don't pay.
They don't pay federal taxes.
And you're saying they should be obligated to
pay
more.
A certain amount, even if they pay. And right now, Trump is giving them a tax cut. He's gonna give them a tax cut.
So, Cat,
so why don't you niggas stop crying and become a billionaire?
So, Cat, let's think about it like this.
I wish.
Right, you own a business, right?
Yeah.
If you made $100,000,
you don't want to hear it.
But what I'm just saying, if you made $100,000, right?
What I tell you last week at the gym, P.
You
was
gonna pay,
working out. I say, yo.
You got out of $100,000 that you supposedly make, you're only gonna bring home 77. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring home like 73,000 of that 100,000, right?
Less than that, but we're not gonna talk about it.
I'm just
me personally. I'm not putting my personal information
no, I'm
out
not.
there.
He's saying
but
hypothetically.
listen. You saying this, but me and P had this conversation last week in the gym, and I was telling him about how much money I made, right? And I was like, yo, it don't even matter because it's still almost like not making the money.
So that's my point. Is like, so that's what I was saying. Hypothetically,
you could be proud about that.
You made 100,000.
You could be like,
but then you brought home 70. Now you got these companies making 100 million.
They
right?
don't get taxed
They're not paying.
You mean they don't get taxed at all?
They're not paying 70. They're not. If you bring home,
one person at a time.
If you bring
I
don't
know about this. I want to know.
If you bring home $100,000, right?
Talk about the millions, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
This is where I'm
collating it. If you bring home $100,000,
I can relate to the six-figure numbers.
You bring home 70,000. So if you bring home
millions.
If you bring home 100 million, you should be paying $30 million in taxes.
And you saying they don't
pay that.
They don't pay nothing. But what I'm saying is
almost zero.
We pay as middle class citizens 30% of what.
How much do they pay?
Is it the reason why are they making write-offs? Yes. Are they doing all the shit that
if you donate enough money
that's
to
why
charity,
they're not paying
your
this
shit
motherfucking tax?
gets rid off.
All right, so and we can do the same shit.
No, we can't.
Not in our bracket.
No, because
no, but if you start a business,
but you can't in our
hold
bracket.
on. First of all, the reason that we get income taxes back is a detriment to us.
I don't get income taxes back.
Exactly.
Bro.
So you're doing good.
Never. I don't care.
Us as
what happens.
We're getting income tax back means that we paid more money into the government than they were expecting, and they're like, here you go, give us a little bit back.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit back.
That's what income tax
You
is.
can't itemize, but you're going to pay something.
You're gonna pay something.
You're gonna pay something.
If you're making money, you're gonna pay something. If you're not in a business and you have kids and things of that nature, then you can claim the kids, things of that nature. Then you can get it's going to help. But
not if you make a certain amount of money.
When you have a business, it's not the same.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you're making $100 million a year,
I thought
you're
the
not
niggas
paying,
was all paying.
So if you're making,
that's how much I don't pay attention
so
to
imagine,
that.
So imagine if you made Imagine if you made $1 billion. If you made $1 billion, so Jay-Z made $1 billion this year. That nigga is not paying.
He ain't paying no federal taxes.
300.
How much you think he's paying? And
not 300 million.
Maybe a couple million.
He has a lawyer. He has an accountant. He has a
Hold
lawyer.
on, P. I would say this. Why do they think Trump never released his tax returns?
Because he hasn't paid.
Because he fucking knows what would happen.
That was already proven. Like when they brought it out. They said
he's the only president
you haven't paid your taxes.
In like 10 years.
You haven't paid federal taxes. This country that you love, you haven't paid federal taxes in it was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I can't give you the exact number.
So do you think that has something to do with how he's taking the country now, like the direction he's taking the country in now?
People. That's nothing to do with Trump. I'm not trying to single him out. What I'm saying is the tax code for rich people.
That's just what it is.
They can cheat the tax code. They have yet to solve that, and they don't want to tackle.
So if you guys were in that tax bracket, would you do the same thing?
Of course. I mean, because they say the rich, you want to stay rich, you want to stay richer.
That's why a flat tax. I'm
starting to agree with you more now.
A flat tax would be right because if I had to pay
on everybody.
Everybody. Nah. So if everybody has to pay 8%, then everybody pays 8%.
Yeah, but if you're in a lower economical
that's
class,
fucked up.
Then
But
8% is like
no. If you have to pay 8% of tax, you have a tax of 8%.
Yeah.
If everybody pays 8%, then if I make $100,000, I'm giving y'all $8,000. If I make $100 million, I'm giving y'all $80 million.
Yeah.
If I get $1 billion, I'm giving y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a flat
it's
tax
a good scale
that makes it fair. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're saying is, and I understand.
Yeah, but you don't think that if you make more money that you should probably be taxed a little bit less if you're contributing way more?
No, I think.
I think that makes sense, honestly.
But how are you contributing? Because you're contributing to yourself.
Exactly.
No, what I'm saying is like, if you're making 10 times more than the average individual,
you should be taxed a little bit less. I would say.
That's what I'm saying.
A little bit less.
Because you're contributing, because you have the choice not to generate that income at all.
And you actually have a whole ecosystem, you have a whole ecosystem because you're feeding thousands upon thousands of people. So you should have to pay less taxes, but
not like
zero.
Drastic, not zero.
It's been like that for years. This tax code is fucked.
My pushback is you're saying they're feeding millions. So when you make 6, 7, 8, 9, however many $1 billion a year you make, but your employees make $15 an hour, no, nigga, you don't deserve a tax break.
They're still
boost their ass up to $22, $23, $24 an hour, then you get a tax break.
So can
make that
I have
shit
a question?
a livable wage.
So if you're
base it off livable.
Some companies are.
But this is let me ask this question.
Starbucks, Target.
Hold on, P.
Target don't start at
Hold
that.
on, P.
Target, what?
I don't even think we should get into the specifics of what companies because that's too general of a question.
Let me ask you this question.
Benefits
if you're one of these $1 billion corporations, right, and you generate revenue, the people who work at those companies are paying the taxes, not you.
Yeah.
So you're not paying the taxes,
and you're getting money from niggas who are paying taxes too. We're buying the shit.
But you, as a person that was able to start this business in a country that blessed you with the opportunity, you should have to pay federal taxes to support the country that
nobody's denying.
We agreed that.
Everybody's agreeing on that.
Okay.
What we're seeing.
So do y'all think hustlers need to pay taxes?
Fuck
nah,
yeah, not
their
yet.
money ain't taxed.
Yeah, now if you use Cash App, it is.
Hold on. Hold on.
Tax these niggas?
Look.
My bad. I can't you.
We being real.
Probably, I would say.
Do you think hustlers should have to pay taxes?
No, because they don't charge niggas tax. If you go home to get a 20 sack, you're paying 20.
So you feel like if you don't charge taxes, you feel like you shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Exactly.
If you don't charge taxes, you feel like you shouldn't have to pay taxes.
So this is the thing. So this is why now the new rules with the Cash App, the Venmo, and all those different things.
Now I'm saying like if you buy some weed from somebody, it's $10. You give them $10. Do you feel like that hustler should have to pay taxes?
I don't give a fuck.
Nope.
So if you don't pay taxes on the money you generate, you feel like you shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Because they're in a position where they're so fucked up that they have. I mean, you selling drugs.
No, it's not always about being fucked up. It's about generating money. That's the only.
I feel like if you're gonna operate in a space where you deal on cash only, there's no way to know specifically how much money you're making if you're in a cash business.
There's no way.
I mean, you can go by state income tax.
See, you guys are pushing the goalpost though, because I asked a simple question.
No, you can go by state income tax.
I asked a simple question. It's a very simple question.
I would say no.
Yes.
No.
Just like under the table, like I'm mowing somebody's lawn. You know what I mean? Should I have to pay taxes on that? Like somebody.
Something like that. Like
that's like going to fuck a hooker and be like, "Oh, you owe me $32.27."
Tax.
How you bring a hooker into this?
That shit don't make sense, bro.
So what I'm trying to explain to y'all is what they're trying to do now because of the exact thing that you're saying.
Yeah.
So with the Cash Apps, with the Venmos, with all of those electronic payments,
I think it's at 600 now.
So now, if you make more than a certain amount of money,
the funny thing is, I've sent my kids
now
way more money.
It's not even making. That's a thing too.
Yeah, sending and receiving.
So now,
tax on all that shit.
So what happens is they look at what you send it for.
I sent my daughter $400 2 days ago for her trip. Now it doesn't matter that it's for a trip. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. On her end, there's going to be tax paperwork, and on my end, there's going to be tax paperwork. Just because it left mine and she received that money, you know what I'm saying?
Because of the electronic shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's And so
That's what I would.
And so that's what. So that's the specific point. So you get taxed when you make the money. Then you're getting taxed when you send the money. And then
I don't think that's rape.
And then the same money and the same. And
I
now
think that's rape,
and now
man.
so you're making $1 billion.
Financial, let me be
You're making
clear.
$1 billion, and you're still not paying as much taxes as the
top
middle-aged
10%.
people. The top 10% make 90% of the money, but the 90% pays
all the taxes.
most of the taxes.
Luigi Mangione.
They said if they paid
I don't
their
know what
fair,
you just said, but I'm gonna take it as
that's why I
Google
fuck,
it.
That's why I fuck with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was the realest OG. I wish he would have won.
Me too. I love that nigga.
He's always fighting for Medicare for all. The rich people is not paying their fair share. But there's not a narrative because the rich people they control the narrative.
I want
okay.
What would he have done differently? What do you think?
He would have been taxing these motherfucking rich people. He would have been taxing these niggas. Yes. They say that, not him, but they say if they got paid their fair share, that the richest people in the world have to spend a certain amount of money on taxes, and would basically
wipe out debt,
alleviate all of our debt. Would alleviate hunger.
We have a lot of.
I'm talking about our
mad countries.
Hold on, real quick. Let me put it in. Let me put it in perspective.
These billionaires is getting over, and right now, and they're gonna get a tax cut by Trump's administration right now, where they're gonna be even paying even less.
Yo, Pete, check this out. Perspective,
which is crazy,
right? To Pete's point, imagine you have a business where you employ, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 million people, right? Like Walmart. And you still make $4 or $5 billion a year. How do you make $5 billion a year when you employ 9 million people?
Because you were figuring out ways
it's crazy.
To earn more and pay less, and like you know what I mean?
Pay them taxes.
Yeah, that too.
It's crazy.
And you learn how to.
And you pay the niggas that work for you.
And they pay taxes.
There's niggas that just work for
you.
you.
And then they pay taxes on shit they buy, and then they pay taxes.
Yeah, you got niggas in Elmira pushing carts for $17 an hour in -2-degree weather. But these niggas is billionaires.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Japan holds the most U.S. debt.
You can't be mad at and at the same time they said there's loopholes, and they said how can we pay our debt? I sent a thing to the group chat, and I'm gonna just put it on the mic real quick, and it explains how easily we could pay our motherfucking debt back.
Pay our debt, nigga. That's easy, bro.
I don't know. I think
have niggas that live.
I'm gonna play it real quick.
I think financial.
I'm starting to think that we as a country don't understand where the real waste, fraud, and abuse in our system really is. Maybe the savings we gleaned from cutting VA nurses and iguana STD studies isn't where the real money is. Let me see if I can noodle. You know what? Let me join Doge. I'm going to see if I can noodle some ideas here. I want to get down some certain ideas. I want to do.
You trying to clown how Doge is, we're cutting from this. We're going to save us this amount of money from cutting jobs at the VA or from this part. Like just small little things they're trying to do. And now
This is my want to be an accountant starter kit. So I got it off of Amazon for $5,000. My accountant told me not to get it. So we're looking to save taxpayers some money. And I know, let me think. We got the studies that are done. How about we just take $3 billion in subsidies we give to oil and gas companies that already turn billions in profits? How long did that take?
I mean, even if we tax that $3 billion on $300 million.
How about we just close down the carried interest loophole on hedge funds? That's $1.3 billion a year. Oh, how about we stop the $2 trillion we've given to defense contractors to build a fighter jet that blows when everybody knows the next war is going to be fought with drones and blockchain, whatever that is. Holy shit.
But there's basically.
I think that's cool, but you don't think that some of those places we were spending our money were absolutely frivolous? Like, can you admit that? Like, that's the thing that I never see any Democrats speak on. Like, some of the money that was being spent on some of these studies overseas and shit like that, it was stuff that was like ridiculous when it comes to like, damn, we could have applied that to the homeless population.
And that's what I said earlier.
But a lot of them studies, some of them
don't justify it, Pete.
Yeah, can some of these individuals say, you know what, that was a waste of money. We fucked up. We should probably find other areas where we weren't.
Maybe we don't need to know how many inches kangaroos can leap.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
That's
for
why
sure,
I don't believe either side, because it's
sure.
like shit like that was happening historically. And they're just now bringing it out to our attention so it looks like crazy. But at the same time,
I think the whole conversation started with me saying that, in my opinion, how Trump is blatantly
stealing,
blatantly putting his men into position to make all these billions of dollars in our face.
Literally,
that was my opinion, and I said the same thing that Cap said. You know, what about all of these defense contracts, and what about all this other stuff that our government wastes our money on? If we took some of that money back too, you know what I mean? But that's how it kind of started, was me saying, in my opinion, it was so blatant. Like, you have a company, my guy. You know what I'm saying? We all believe in nepotism. If anybody wanted some studio work done, they're gonna come to Cap. You know what I mean? And we're gonna book with Cap. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? But when you're the president, you can't say, all right, I'm gonna not do what was already set up, and I'm gonna give it to my man. That's creating the monopoly part of it.
Yeah.
He helped get that nigga elected. He just looking out.
Yeah.
That's all. You know? And it's fucked up. I think it's just gonna be scary for the next 4 years, man. I think it's gonna be scary.
I think.
I
think for the majority of the country, it's going to be scary. But I say the same thing I said when Barack was elected, when Trump was first elected. Everything since then, my life hasn't really changed too much since any nigga's been president. So.
Yeah, I think Obama could have did some things better for our community, but you know what I mean.
I just think
he had a Republican House and Senate.
I mean, I think that, you know, like Cap alluded to earlier, you know, both sides has their pros and their cons. And if you ride with one side, you're only looking at the pros on your side. And, you know, that's with anything. You know what I'm saying? We all have our own personal biases. And even though it's hard for us sometimes, not just you, but for me, for anybody to, you know, maybe step back and just absorb the information, I think that the hard part is what we want to see. The things that we want to see is what we're going to see. You know what I mean?
Like,
and we
Republican
can say
versus Democrats no different than LeBron versus Jordan.
We could say both great. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could say Michael Jordan is the greatest. He could say LeBron is the greatest. It's still a fact of opinion. Both of them are the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Both of them are
start
great.
An argument in a barbershop like a motherfucker.
Word up. You know what I'm saying? But what really are we talking about? They're both great. You know what I'm saying? Like, both elevated the game. They both did this. Some people might like Michael Jordan's path better, personally. Some people might like LeBron's path better. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to just continue to argue about different things because it's always going to be the Bloods and the Crips or the McCoy, the Clampetts and the McCoys or whatever else you want.
I think the issue that me and Cap were agreeing on, like, way back when we started talking about this, that is the more injustice is the fact that we only have a two-party election. That's me and Cap was starting to talk about that. And we went into a whole, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but the two-party election is insane to me.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So many more options that can be created out there, man. I mean, just sitting in this room lets you know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous as fuck with this next 4 years because it's like, you looking for sauce for that chicken wing or what you?
What you doing? You over there doing the Cupid shuffle or something, nigga.
Their camera. So the power. Oh, there's no power on it. So they need a power cable. I don't even know.
You gotta put the chicken wing down so you can do some work, Jetta.
I'm about to go home and eat a bologna.
Yeah, but you
So
gonna get
Jetta, take the cable out of the box. Out of the box. The box stays powered up pretty good.
In order to do that, you gotta put the chicken wing down, nigga.
Oh, Pat, you gotta move a little slower, because you'll have to disconnect it from that
But you got your
bank, that
uniform?
power bank.
Nah, I got my jersey.
No, I'm saying disconnect it from the power bank and plug it into the wall.
Where's the jersey?
Because there's a plug.
Man, if you don't pull
that's
that
a
shit out.
fast charger in the wall.
Cap, you heard that?
What?
You got his jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
Okay, number one, two.
Number one. I ain't the 2 or the 3.
You built just like your number.
I'm the number 1. Let me see.
Like a crossing guard.
Hold up. Let me see what it says on the front. It says European soccer team. That's gangster.
I was expecting a high number, like a really high number. But
Why? What you?
My jersey in actual soccer was 88.
Word.
And the funny thing is, after the soccer season, when my mom brought me up to Syracuse Mall, I found a Michael. Was it Michael Irvin? For the Cowboys? Yeah. He wore 88.
You gotta turn it, bro. You can't even see.
Nah,
I found a
he's
shirt.
on a different camera.
I found a thing of it, and I'm like, oh snap, that's cool. That's my last name and my soccer number.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, too, man. That's exciting as a mother sucker, man.
When do you actually leave?
A month.
You better bring me back
Nope,
some
you gotta
vodka vibe, nigga.
turn it back the way it was turned to your left.
Might be something.
A little more.
Other nipple.
I know, but it'll turn on. Turn that iPhone to the left a little bit.
Damn, you got that nigga P looking good over
A little
there.
more, a little more, a
Crisp,
little more.
You know what I mean?
A little more.
Cap,
Little more, little
that
more.
nigga Cap look goody. You look like hoodies.
Right
complex.
there. Yep. Oh,
I put it on
just
hoodie.
waiting
Hoodie
for the
gonna have
Sony
my
to.
number.
Chicken wing down.
Just waiting
You
for
be
the
able to
Sony
do something.
Just waiting for the Sony to power up for a couple seconds. But once that powers up, that plug is super powerful.
But I mean, you know, I think we can argue about a lot, you know, and I think what we talk about as far as the mindful exchange and what we're trying to do is an exchange of the minds. I think, you know, we do a good job of, you know, we try to do a good job of letting everybody get their shit off.
Yeah, challenging
we
each
all
other.
have differences of opinions, and that's what makes this so great. Is the fact that we can have difference of opinion, still get along, and still show love to each other, and still understand that just because I don't agree with what you agree with, you know, we still got love for each other, and that's the biggest and most best message of all of it. Because
A year from now, we might be like, you know, one of you niggas might come in here and be like, I told you, and I'll have to hold that, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we don't know.
You know, it was hard because I think Quest had to leave. When we started talking about his Uncle Donnie, that nigga was like, yo.
I was trying to get it in before he left.
Y'all not going to talk about my Uncle Donnie.
He left at
First of all,
exactly
He told me
8:30.
he had to go pick up his daughter.
First of all,
so he can't play
You know,
full time.
but at the same time, though, you know,
You don't talk about my
Quest,
nephew like that.
Quest is, you know, he's been standing on his Trump shit, and I am interested to know how he feels about all this different stuff that's been going on. You know what I mean? We do got to get him to, you know what I mean?
That'd have been good today. 'Cause looking at his face and his reaction and some of the stuff he said, he was kind of like on some, I don't know, nigga.
Quizzical, the same way I'm quizzical.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
I don't
asking more questions, because I know certain things based on what I absorb off the internet and read, what have you, but I don't know everything. So I want to get y'all opinions because you guys have opposite opinions and based on facts as well. It's not like I'm trying to discredit anybody, but I'm always going to challenge everybody that I'm in the room with. That's one of my superpowers.
So how do
I'll
y'all
let you go sometimes.
How do y'all
Yeah.
feel about some of the things that he said he was going to do, right? That we now know that he didn't do it.
I feel like
it's still early.
I feel like it's too early. I feel like every president has done that. They've promised they're gonna do this, and then it takes a while for either them to get there or they just never
that would have
fucking
been my
get there.
rebuttal, because you're expecting so much so soon, but it's never happened out of any presidents.
Never. But although no other
4 years.
president's ever said on day one, I'm going to end the war.
They don't.
Yeah, but
First of all, on day one, Ukraine, Russia.
matter of fact, how about we
BFFs.
get off of the Trump stuff, because
I had a video I wanted to show you.
I kind of want to end it
Damn, what
on
time
a
is it? I gotta
light
go to work
note,
tomorrow,
a funny note, a more humorous note. We can talk about Trump next week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's going to be on some bullshit next week,
Only
too.
thing I wanted to say to end it is the only thing a lot of people are talking about with Trump, about just the question that you just asked, do you think he's going to get to some of the things? I think his first 100 days has been very exciting, to say the least, more than a lot of the president's 100 days when the things that they're trying to do. So I think that's where a lot of it has been so highly talked about because of all the different things, you know, between the tariffs, between the deporting of the immigrants, between all the different things that his first 100 days have accounted for, the firings and all this different shit. But, you know.
So, why you get that on camera? I'm trying to be a role model in the community. I be trying to tell these kids that come in here like, yo, you shouldn't be doing that. Yo,
you started speaking.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. Yo, so this next video that I got is some funny shit to me, man. I be seeing this dude all over YouTube here and there. And I just wanted y'all to watch and see what he does, and then we can comment on it after that. Ain't no toilet paper in the bathroom. All right.
He's going to let the Mexican people out his belly button so they can get a breather.
So this shit is a 2023 video. It's called The CEO of Ego Lifting.
Is that nephew?
Look at this dude, man.
Please don't tell me he breaks his leg.
Nah.
Oh, all right.
Look at his motion.
That's what nephew motion was looking like.
Yeah.
His legs ain't but that big. That's why he can move
Little
this.
stubs.
Nigga doing like.
And he's fully
centimeter,
extending
like,
his, like he's.
But think about all the weight he has on there, though. Like, that shit would break somebody.
Yeah.
That nigga doing knees.
Look at this nigga. Look. That was his lift.
He just held it up.
He doing elbows and knees. Yeah, that's why he ain't big.
And he dead serious. He's not joking.
I mean, it don't make a difference. Even moving that shit 6 inches is still fucking strong as a bitch. Because motherfucking nigga, we can get on that
shit
bitch.
should collapse.
Word up. If you did that with 305, motherfucker, you strong as a bitch.
Why it dropped though? What happened?
That was his lift. He just
lets
He
it
didn't
drop.
even get it up.
He lifted it up off the bar, the 4 inches, and then he let it drop.
He did let it drop a little slow though at the beginning, and then
he
just
tried.
Then what happens after that? Somebody has to help him.
I just thought that shit
He's
was
working on
funny.
neck.
Because the dude that was in the beginning of the video, he always pops up on my YouTube Shorts feed.
Oh, he at the door.
I ain't getting that, man.
Hey, episode 90.
Nope. 90? Yeah, we out of here. Fuck that.
Yeah,
episode
the
90.
door knocked. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Podcasts connect, intellect, intersect. Brothers on the rise, no lies, just respect. Health, wealth, religion, truth, gotta inspect. Mindful exchange on deck, we perfect.